Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. We are the Wrestling for Life Network, the channel that just watches more live wrestling than anyone else out there. We're back at it again with a little bit of NXT tonight. It's going to be a fun one. We got lots to get into, lots to talk about, including an unfortunate circumstance, but we're going to discuss all of that here tonight. So make sure you strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and put a smile on that face. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We're back and live and doing it again, folks. It's going to be another night, another live stream with the Wrestling for Life Network as we get into NXT tonight. Like I said, lots going on, and I already saw somebody talk about it in the chat. This is a taped edition of NXT, so no spoilers. I don't know the answers except one thing, but we'll talk about that as we go along here. But if you put a spoiler in, I'll be forced to put you in the penalty box. So be kind and rewind. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get into all this action. Lots to talk about, not just with NXT, with all the wrestling as usual. Lots of rumors, lots of speculation, lots of things to get into and dive into and talk about. But, ladies and gentlemen, I will remind everyone you're stuck with Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and Mr. Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight KJ White. I'm Big Nick, and yes, of course, tonight we have the Mountain of a Man, Femi, putting the NXT North American Championship on the line against the Legacy Lexis King.
I thought you were talking about me there for a second, but let's go. Let's go.
You're the Mountain of a Beard.
Yeah, no, I mean, we get Oba taking on Lexis King. Little curious how this is all going to play out. Oba looks all but indestructible. I mean, you almost do not pass go, do not collect $100, go straight to the main roster. You're almost really ready for all this. I know Super Green, but man, he is a force to be reckoned with.
Like I said, he is a mountain of a man. The second we both saw him, we're like, that's a grown man. That's a grown man out there wrestling children right now.
100%. And I see the chat filling up. I see over 30 people already. The wrestling will be starting shortly, but me and Nick are going to run you through some pre-show. It's going to be a fun one here, and I will remind you, if you have not hit like yet, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, be a part of the fun, be a part of the family, and remember, all week long, we will be here live. Tomorrow, we got AEW, Thursday's Impact, Friday is No Surrender, and SmackDown, and because we are gluttons for punishment, we will be here at 4:30 a.m. for Elimination Chamber, and we can't wait, perhaps.
I'm excited. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see it just coming straight off that hangover from SmackDown and No Surrender. Like we said, if No Surrender, well, if it even happens, if No Surrender happens.
Well, yes.
Yeah. But so do we want to talk about that with about 10 minutes here?
We got some time. We can jump into that conversation real quick for sure. Interesting times with TNA. I know I put it out there yesterday of a potential revolt against Anthem. And by the minute, it seems to be picking up some steam, some momentum. I don't know, Nick. This is very, very interesting.
It's the curse of going back to TNA, like I said. And very much it's so for those who don't know, and shout out everybody in the chat, those who don't live on Twitter and everything. So earlier today, TNA Wrestling put out that that Josh Alexander had re-signed with the company. Granted, it all got leaked out initially that it was Impact Wrestling extended their option on Josh Alexander's contract. So rather than he re-signed, they extended his option, thus saying, you ain't going nowhere, motherfucker.
Yeah, we realize there's an opt-out here, but we're going to exercise our option. You are going to be sticking around, and I wonder how many people are going to be stuck in this boat of trying to jump ship. Are they going to try and finagle things? Or are lawyers going to get involved? Are people going to stand together? That is the really curious thing. And then with TNA, I mean, it's been not a big deal because you have all these shows that you've taped. But now we're getting into live stuff. No Surrender, Friday, live. The Bayou Blast coming up this weekend, live, used for more tapings moving forward. If your roster does not want to work with you, then what happens? And a lot of people talking about all these little, it's like sands through the hourglass. These are the days of TNA. That has been a thing for 2 days now.
Yeah, and to anyone out there that thinks, oh, what are they? Is it something else? Is it some big? No, this is literally a united front of the locker room saying, to hell with you. I didn't know Anthem became MLW with, just trying to hold everybody under contract here.
Right.
Because that's what this seems to be, is just an absolute power play by them of, all right, you're not happy, so screw you. We have the power here. We're going to exercise our options, so you can throw a piss and moan and you can throw a fit, but you're going to be under contract here.
Right. And I don't know if our buddy Anthony can hear me right now, but here is the absolute TNA mark fantasy scenario that Scott D'Amore leads a revolution against Anthem, but it's all on screen. It's all on TV. It's all a work. It's all an angle. It's, Scott D'Amore versus the world, and he's got an army, and there's going to be people loyal to Anthem against them. Ooh, that would be hopeful. That's very hopeful.
That's very hopeful and very clever that I think no one's really else has pitched that so far, that this could actually be a work.
Yeah, no, it's too fantastical to be real.
If this is a work, it's one of the greatest works I think they've ever seen pulled, especially from TNA of all the places.
So
yeah,
hashtag. So go ahead.
No, you're good. I forgot what I was saying. You were saying hashtag.
So cute. No, I think that hashtag we want Scotty still a thing. Again, people are trying to decipher what all these cryptic tweets are. Again, the fact that it came out today that Josh Alexander, arguably one of their biggest, if not their biggest star, isn't going anywhere. Just so everybody knows, and maybe that's a ploy, being that they know that people are rumbling about, well, we don't want to do this, we don't want to be here anymore. And they're going, well, if you're contractually obligated, you ain't going nowhere until we say you do.
And that's, again, that's why I say it's a power play with them, especially because they initially announced it or had it presented as he re-signed with them, and then I'm sure the legal team got involved and said, no, that's, inaccurate here. You're going to get yourself open to litigation here. So they had to rephrase it and put it out again as TNA exercises its option on Josh Alexander.
Yeah, and the same thing. When they let go of Scott D'Amore, the story was Scotty stepping down. And then it was a dumb ploy because you knew somebody was going to talk to somebody. And quickly they found out that was bullshit. So the same thing. You got to be factual. You got to be within the confines of this contract. And to advertise that this man just re-signed with your company, well, that's not accurate. And therefore, it's false. And you can't do that. So we saw the retraction. We saw the quick shift. And I think there's going to be a lot of this happening. And it's unfortunate because TNA was cooking. What will happen at No Surrender? What will happen at the new upcoming live shows? What their new direction will look like under not Scott D'Amore, under Anthony Ciccone.
Well, No Surrender right there to me, I think, has the most interest and could be the last dying breath of TNA here. If that goes south, if that, like you said, is a walkout and we got picket signs and everything, or you can tell that there's tension and an issue, then all of that momentum that they gained under Scott D'Amore, all of that, TNA is coming back, the revolution, and just all goes away.
See, what I want is for the show to start and everything seem normal, and then all of a sudden the entire locker room empties into the ring. And then a chubby white Canadian comes bouncing out of the crowd, jumps over
and
the ring.
It's not
KJ. Right? And gets into the ring and grabs a mic and just cuts a shoot right then and there. That to me would be ideal for everybody. Maybe not for Anthem.
Well, and how long would it air, though? That's the thing.
It just
and the locker room's clearing out. Sorry, no signal from venue.
Well, again, they would have to make that decision of like, do we let this roll because we got to make money, or do we pull the plug and piss a lot of people off? It really does ham them in.
It's you back them into a corner, and this is even the move today. I would say is Anthem fighting back because they have been backed into a corner. You asked last night about if the public outcry, or I guess the Twitter outcry, helps or hurts the TNA locker room, this 100% helps, and it's pressured Anthem to have to try and fight back and show that, hey, no, you don't run us. We still call the shots here.
Yeah, it's really curious, right? Like, and my concern was that letter, the very, private letter per se, going public, making Anthem look bad. How much would Anthem flex, being the money behind it all? And time will tell. We saw what happened with Josh Alexander today. Who else? A guy like Moose, how long will he force to be? He signed the longest contract in TNA history. Now, I will say I'm moments away from the start of NXT. So I think we're going to rapid fire through some hellos. I see the chat filling up. Get in there. And then we'll get back to all the wrestling topics. But TNA is in an interesting position just when it was on the verge of being so much more than it used to be. We're right back where we started, apparently.
Right.
But I see Damian Chambers. How you doing? Richard Martinez in the house. Juan, Eric Davidson. Alexis is back with us. Kyle, Brandon, Ghoul Gamer, Paul Carpenter. All About Wrestling podcast. Appreciate the love. Go check them out. Go give them some love. We appreciate it. We really do. TJ, good to see you. AJ, what's up? MDP, always good for a chuckle. Easy Bakes with us. Richard's here. Who else you got, Nick?
I got Mike Rouse. I got Richard Martinez. Oh, there's Boston. Mike Rouse. Yeah. Richard, I think it was you that I accidentally timed out. So mea culpa for last night there. I was trying to get rid of a troll. I accidentally timed him out because he was right above it. So mea culpa.
I've done that.
Juan, what up? Alexis saying it's going to be a TNA civil war.
Do it. It would be super interesting.
It'd be the most interesting thing they've done in a goddamn while, respectfully.
Dude, how long have we said it? Keep playing, play the dirt sheets, play all these reporters, and just feed them nothing but nonsense for days, and use social media to build up your angles and your stories.
And I mean, hey, they have been working with Endeavor. Maybe Hunter said, here's what you do. You want to get some buzz? Here's what you do.
Here's what you could do.
You piss off your whole fan base, and then you give them what they want.
Yeah. Give them what they want.
Wesley, what up? Saying hi. Paul Carpenter, what up? You guys don't have to say my whole name. Okay, Paul. I feel weird saying Paul. It always reminds me of, do you remember when they did McMahon did the giveaway thing where you had the actual call-in show? You just called random people, and then they ended it with the stage falling on him. And he's actually, it was shoot because he's like, Paul, I can't feel my legs.
As I am getting the start of NXT right now.
I had Richard Wolf up on my screen.
Oh, Richard.
Right.
I got Ben. I use the last names a lot of times during the intros, just so you know, because we have multiple Larrys and multiple Pauls and multiple whatevers. We got multiple gamers. What's up, Joe?
I have Forever. Are you there?
I got Forever.
Together.
Bacon Breakfast with the Boys, Bacon Club for Life. I'm gonna have to put that on t-shirts. I'm really gonna have to do it.
Well, like we've talked about, Bacon Club might become an actual thing on the channel for members. So stay tuned. And that's your sales pitch to become a member to the channel.
That's it. Now, earlier today, Shotzi walking very comfortably into the building, looking good too.
Right.
McManamania.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
So we're kicking off with Oba and Lexis. Goddamn, out the gate here.
No entrances in the ring, waiting for intros.
Yeah.
Let's go. The knee pad police are here.
TJ with a wide.
What's going on? But yeah, Lexis King. Who you guys taking? I mean, again, if you know the spoilers, keep them to yourself. If you don't know the spoilers, we're all curious about what you think. I don't know what happened in this match, but I'm not betting against Oba ever.
No, not at all. 100%. This man needs to be in that group with Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, BFAB, 100%. Or even Price, like I think we've both said before. Bring back Apollo. Have him go back to his Nigerian accent, or even if he doesn't,
no accent, just be
no accent. Same gimmick, no accent.
Yeah,
and then put him with Oba and Omos.
Yeah, shit. No, I don't care who it is. It could be next week. Oba versus Tank. I'm taking Oba.
Oba versus Otis. I'm taking Oba.
Now we will see this. I mean, Lexis King has come in with mixed reviews. I still feel like he's trying to find his way. He needs some good matches and he just gets swatted. Oh my, I'm already sick of Lexis King.
He's big back body drop.
Yeah, he's supposed to be under your skin. He's supposed to be a good heel, but we definitely
it's the barber thing, I think. He looks like Riff Raff met at Joe Exotic.
That's a good way to put it, actually. Joe Exotic. Not Lexis King, the Tiger King.
Right, yeah. Well, I'm waiting for him to start coming out with the shirts with tigers on them and shit. But yeah, after his match here with Oba, I think he's going to just say, I'm never going to financially recover from this. Just catches that man mid-run. And everything with Oba is good power moves, too. He's a big guy that just dominates people. Like that, he brought back pretty much that kind of pounce like Keith Lee did, Monty Brown did.
Yeah, he's not trying. Again, he is what he is. He's super aggressive. Oba for the win. And I mean, his match with Dragon Lee was well done. I mean, him cashing in the contract made sense as he hits the pole.
But it's interesting to see a guy that, well, we thought was 22, and he's actually 25, has only been in pro wrestling. He's not a guy that started off of, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. He's a college athlete. He's an NIL deal. And he's taken to pro wrestling like a fucking duck to water.
Quack. He comes back next week.
Quack, quack.
Next week. Just check Ticketmaster. AEW Big Business from Boston is almost sold out. Good for them. Now, there you go. If that is true, now I'm curious to see how many they are set up for. But regardless, that's good for them. Is it 6,000, 8,000, 9,000? But yes, we know that they've done well in Greensboro. I believe it's up to 16,000. This is stuff they have to capitalize on.
100%. And that's, I think, why people are worried, because they haven't been.
Facts.
So we'll get there in a commercial.
Rolling.
Lexis firing back on Oba, going up top.
Lexis showing a little bit of athleticism here.
Oh, what the hell is Robert Stone doing out here? Oh, that was... I know what that was supposed to be, but it looked a lot more fragile than what it really was. The double stomp onto the arm.
Can someone help me here? Was there something between Stone and Von Wagner and King?
Are we misremembering?
Do you remember anything?
No. Well, Dale's saying Von Wagner was watching the King versus Oba match backstage, but why?
Pourquoi? Didn't he lose last week?
Well, this tells you, though, that NXT, how we've talked about it, NXT's been a bit of this slump of everything just kind of seems to just blend in a shade of gray.
Oh, Oba. Von Wagner and Lexis King, a new tag team.
Oh.
He's not under me. No, he's not under my skin. His character just doesn't work. I like him, and I think he's good in the ring. He just needs a better character that fits him. I feel like he's still... Remember early days of Tiffany, where it felt like she was acting? Yeah, that's it. Fuck it. It's
Break
over.
out. And that fucking pop-up powerbomb, it just looks devastating.
Yeah, no. But that's where it feels like he feels phony. He feels like a big phony.
You're a big phony. No, I think he's still developing his character. Think about it. He came in and he hasn't had anything that's really established him. He was halfway just in the peripheral of the Carmelo trick thing and was just kind of a red herring. And now, since he just kind of floated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really trying to like figure out his footing with all of this. And again, like you said, the little things of like his beard and stuff kind of throw you off the minute you see him.
You still got to grow. I mean, he didn't do much in AEW to do growth as a character.
Facts. Oh, we're backstage with the calendar girls.
I was gonna say, who's this random swimsuit model here beside them? Oh, Ariana Grace is there in the background, eavesdropping in.
They're talking about Thea's Valentine's Day date with Riley Bourne or whoever the fuck.
There's the biggest lie I've heard in a while. Thea Hale saying, "I'm a grown-ass woman." Girl, you sure as hell don't act like it. You act like a teenager. I could be too available. Jesus, this is so American Pie, National Lampoon shit that it's like, ugh.
Well, it's like, come on, right? Like you're like this whole like I went on a date and I didn't know what to do. This isn't a high school, and that's where I'm like, oh come on, like I feel like this should be something the Bucks are doing.
Right, I know they do the college character. That doesn't mean you're actually in college, sweetheart.
Yeah, but I would argue that, as a man who's been there, the girls have it pretty down pat by the time they get to college. I have going on too many, like, I don't know what to do on this date. We pretty much got it figured out. Let's get it on. Boston's going to big business. Remember, Boston, if you can get our logo on TV, we'll send you a t-shirt.
Absolutely. Well, it figures Boston's going to be in Boston, man. Or are you going to Boston instead of Boston?
Yeah, he's going to have to change his name.
Yeah, it's going to be Boston Gamer.
1-0. Yeah, everybody should be 1-0 on that one. Even Joe, AJ, 420-0. MDB on the same path.
That'll be us on Saturday.
Or right now. Obi Femi wins.
So, hey, we got the Wolf Dogs here. I heard that there's been talks, obviously, about bringing both them up or bring Corbin back up with Braun and keeping that going. I heard somewhere some terrible name that they were going to call them and change their name. Like, do you like the whatever catch crew name that they've added to Bait and Dunn?
No, British Strong Style was fine. Leave it alone. What is it? No Catch Crew? Is that what they're calling them, or
something like that? It reminded me very much of the No Quarter Catch Crew or whatever. So that's why I just keep calling it that, because I was like, you kind of have the same name.
No, I don't like it. It feels like they're trying to mimic the BCC concept on both fronts. Just no, again. It's silly. I'd rather call them just fucking Dunn and Bait. I don't give a shit. But this whole
Bitch and Butch.
Yeah, give me something.
Oh, no, New Catch Republic. That's what they're calling
New Catch Republic.
Right, but see, again, that's why it sounds like No Quarter Catch Crew, because everything. Why are we catching everything? Just call them British Strong Style. Call Corbin and Braun, if they go up to the main roster, the Wolf Dogs. Just that's the name that they've adopted, and we've accepted it, so can run with it.
Yeah, and if you're gonna change the name, make it good. And that's New Catch Republic. They're gonna come out with a flag.
Well, they took the New Day, No Quarter Catch Crew, and just added, I don't know, Banana Republic in there for some reason. I really don't get that name or where it comes from. What is the connection there?
They're catch wrestlers. That's what we're supposed to get out of all of it.
British Strong Style. That's right there. It tells you everything.
It's probably copyrighted. They're like, fuck.
They own the copyright. They had to, because they used it.
They used it before.
But that's the thing. It's just fucking use it.
Right. We are in commercial break, folks. Rolling along. First match in the book. New catchphrase crew.
Right. Shout out Sean. Well, I like this from MDB of One Republic over New Catch Republic.
Fact. Banana Republic?
Right.
Bananarama.
New Catch Republic sounds like a coup in the making.
Yeah, I saw that on something that was like a call out or something. I'm like, when did they start using this and why?
Yeah, you thought you could slip us that past us? No, we're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, no,
they took away Butch, but they gave you something much worse.
Yeah, it's like on NXT. The No Quarter Pound Crew doesn't work for me either. I don't care for it. they're trying to be something, and it feels very much in that, like we're like we're the catch, we're the grapplers, we're those guys. Yeah, that's not exciting. We don't care.
No. Paul said new Wolf Dog Cruise, Chew Toy Crew.
Well, there you go. There you go. What about the talks about Braun Breaker being a Paul Heyman guy?
I'm here for it 100%. Not now, but in the future.
Yeah, I think it could work. I really do think it would help Braun Breaker transition. Paul, I mean, if Roman is going to take a hiatus, take a pause, take a minute after he loses his belt, whenever that may be,
Right.
Braun Breaker might be a nice guy to transition to.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I don't know if there's too many managers left that it's a statement of having that, like someone actually manage you. Granted, managers have almost seemed to go by the age of the dinosaurs here, but
there's not enough good managers anymore. I don't know why, but managers were so vital in like 80s, 90s wrestling, even before that. But let's talk about where we were alive. But I mean, they were so pivotal. Like there was people, even a guy like Yokozuna had Cornette, had Jimmy at times, where they got him, they did all his talking. He didn't have to say shit. Right? Every once in a while he said bonsai, and that was good. We were good.
It helps cover up or strengthen weaknesses for some opponent, for some competitors and all of that. And like I was saying, with now being a Paul Heyman guy is like being it's a blue check. It's a blue check on a blue check there. Yeah.
Speaking of blue chicks, we got Red Lady and Tatum on screen.
How you feeling about this?
If you could do something for me,
do something for a little piece of change,
right? She gonna Tanya Harding, so Shotzi?
Is that how they do it? Is that how they cover it up? They just don't air the match, and they just kidding.
There you go.
Oh, my knee.
Her favor was, can you please stay away from the ring tonight?
Ooh.
And if you do, I'll give you a surprise. That's provocative.
No one knows what it means, but it gets the people going. Right. But let's be honest on this.
Let's be honest. I'm not calling them that. No, I'm not. Definitely not.
No.
MDB wants all the knee pads. As here we go. Your new NXT tag champs. This is going to be really interesting how they play this out, especially that we know now Braun has signed with SmackDown. Corbin used to be a main roster talent. We're not sure if he belongs to either.
Yeah, well, like I said, they could go up together. It'll be weird, especially as a tag team, for Braun to be the guy on the main roster and Corbin's the one hanging around in NXT.
You wait here. You've had
right. You can have that.
You've had several turns. It's mine.
Right.
As they're calling it out, we're getting a replay of Braun Breaker signing with Nick Aldis.
Keyshawn, yes, I have seen this, and I definitely want to talk to you about this. Remind me when we get to a commercial, somebody, if my brain doesn't, is on a lazy Susan phase, and we'll talk about that.
Nice. You deserve it. Burn the ships. Loyalty. What's that? I'm trying to read the rest of his t-shirt.
LOM, loyalty over money.
Is that what it says?
No, that's that's Hell of the Dawn.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Did he copyright infringe?
Right.
I took your word
for it. Big ass trophy.
That's a big mofo trophy.
Right, but this is also Corbin's first title, I think, really in a hot goddamn minute.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in NXT.
It's not funny.
It's a little funny. Ron saying I carry this team.
So are they like playfully poking at each other right now?
I think that's been their shtick a little. They're two dorks. Like I said, they're two like dorky Kurt Angles when he was back there hanging out with Austin,
right, with a little
guitar and with the little cowboy hat on and shit.
The end of days, and I hit the spear of days. The spear of days.
Spear of days.
And he gets a
Spear of
crowd
days.
chant. Burn the ships loyal to me. There you go. It was LTM, though. I knew I saw it, so when you said it, I was like, oh, he must just be stealing.
See, that's the thing. They just poke the shit out of each other and then say how they're like still put each other over. And now Chase U's coming out.
Chester Chase U in the house. Duke Wellington and Andre Chaser here.
Yeah. I have to always remind myself of his actual name once you call him that, because I'm like, but I know that's not his name. So after like, okay, that's his actual name. Remember it.
Right. Duke works for me, though. He should be Duke Wellington.
No, he's Duke Hudson.
So it's trophy on trophy action here, folks. So Chase U's just back.
Apparently. And you can take your calendars and shove them up your asses. I think The Rock said that.
I was like, we already got nuggets up there. What the fuck was
right.
your calendars? Works as a funnel. Works as a funnel.
Why you gotta say that? Why you gotta do that?
Spear of days. So they want to shot of the titles. What's that?
No, I was just reading the username, Theater of the Absurd. I was like, that's an interesting name.
There you go. I've been to a couple of those. They need to bring back Kurt
The
Angle.
only people who cheered right there, sorry, for Chase U was the forced Chase U section.
And the Mini Might Force is here to chime in. So
well, no, what was it? You called them Not Man and Robin.
Not Man and Robin are here.
Right.
Yeah. So Axiom and Nathan Fraser. So do you feel like we're going to get some type of fatal four-way battle royal for the number one contender?
Probably.
Or just a fatal four-way for the titles?
It could be for the titles if Braun's going up.
So Not Man and Robin want a title shot. Dick Ward here.
Whoa.
I didn't name it.
I just keep looking at Axiom like the Green Power Ranger. Like, it's morphin' time.
Right.
Shout out Nick Bray. See, great Nicks think alike.
Yeah. Did he just call him Gravity?
Yeah.
By accident?
I don't know if it was accidental.
Pow. Good to see you. You want to call him Rapunzel?
Rapunzel, let down your comments. What?
End of day all day is an amazing finisher. Corbin gets a bad rap. He does get a bad rap. People treated him like he actually booked the show and never forgave him. And the whole dog food angle sucked. It's not his fault.
But with liking his finisher as, hey, her navel's not showing. She's not wearing a crop top.
There you go. This is better.
I spoke too soon. It's because she was leant over. I spoke too soon.
Bitch. I was like, she put her hair in a bun. She's looking a little more professional.
She's got boots with heels that are like a goddamn mile thick.
I just can't take you serious in Doc Martens and your muffin top hanging out. I can't do it.
You want to watch that? Daddy Dwayne's going to show up there.
Yeah, I'll smell what he's cooking. And the residence of KJ White exploded randomly today.
Right. Where's KJ? Rock will you just show up with chicken nuggets stuck up your.
So Ava Rain, what did she just do? Triple threat? She's
I don't know. We were too busy laughing.
Yeah. I just want to take her serious, and I can't. Ava Peach.
I got Roxanne right now on my screen. Roxanne.
Now, Roxanne, here we go. She don't
Lady,
have to put on the red light.
Well, Lady B, after your own heart here of the GM of Hot Topic. I thought she had it together for a second.
Thank you. Like you're grown. You got grown ass men in the ring, and you're supposed to take orders from this girl. What?
Again, I think the issue is that they haven't built it up. That's the thing, is it seems half baked. Much like a lot of the stuff lately in NXT, it's half baked. They just randomly just dropped Ava into the GM spot without giving you a reason, a purpose, any sort of credibility. Sean hasn't even appeared to sit there and tell her how she's got the fucking job or anything.
Does the new interview lady know her shirt's open and we can see her bra? This show is really fucked up sometimes.
Don't tell her. Don't tell her.
Don't tell her. Like, does she know?
I feel like she has to know.
How am I going to take this place serious? Nobody's wearing any clothes.
Old man yells at clown.
Yeah.
Old Canadian man yells at Maple Leaf.
Here comes Roxy, though. I can take her serious.
Oh, absolutely. She's somebody that, to me, jumps to the main roster sooner than later.
Yeah, she can only slap so many people, Nick. She's literally running out of roster to smack.
Yeah, she just shows up and just, when I see somebody, it's on site.
Don't even care. As she will take on Wren Sinclair, which terrible name.
Yes, Wren Sinclair, formerly Maddie Rinkowski. So you combined the two streams there.
Right.
But
NXT, what?
No, so we are in commercial. So I was going to bring up what the O'Shea Jackson, Little Ice Cube.
Yes.
On Chris Van Fleet talking about AW fans about how, or at least I'll say a section of wrestling fans that very much of when somebody says, "Oh, I don't know that wrestling," they just basically say, "Well, Google it," or "Stop. Why would you say that?" Like that gatekeeping of that everybody's supposed to know every pro wrestler and know every statistic.
Yep. No, I mean, he's not wrong, Nick. He's not. And again, it's nice. More and more celebrity involvement in wrestling again is a good thing.
He's a huge wrestling nerd.
Absolutely. And even he feels like he's running into gatekeepers.
Absolutely. And it's like you even said, though, wrestling's crossing over into that mainstream. So why are we like, you don't know who Akiyama is and the whole backstory, or you're not a fan of Ishii and don't know all of that? Or Christ, even respectfully, like in Osprey or anything, he brought up the comparable of, you even watch a UFC event, which now we've seen very much the WWE and UFC crossover start. But
I like it.
A UFC fight, no matter whether it's prelims, what have you, they have a little video package or anything that quickly gets you explains this person, why they're here, whatever. You've got to give some people this little bit of a jump start to get them fully involved into it, is if you want to gather in that larger audience.
Yeah, there's two separate things here. One, the snobby wrestling fans have proven, dude, we watch more live wrestling on YouTube than anyone else. And there's still people that were like, who's that guy? You know, we run into those blocks. But they've proven that if you are a promoter and you promote your business to that section of the audience, it's a small percentage of the wrestling fans out there, and your business will dwindle. They won't buy tickets because they can't afford them. They're too busy just sitting on the internet bitching and complaining. They've proven that for 2, 3, 4 years now. And the other aspect of that is, doesn't matter. Like Andrade's coming back to the WWE right now. A lot of people know Andrade. However, we're getting vignettes. We're getting reminded. Trinity Fatu returns. She goes back to being Naomi, but they start telling you why she should be Naomi, or who she is, what her accolades are. It is important to remind your fans, no matter what your angle is, no matter what the story is, when you have a chance, you tell the fan base who you're dealing with, who is on screen, why should we care? And time again, we've seen it with TK's booking of, like a guy like Homicide shows up and his name pops up on the screen and everyone's like, that's cool. We know who he is, but there's a collection of people that don't. But even that he's there, why do we care? Why is it a big deal? Is he staying? Who's he mad at? Who's he friends with? It's called storytelling. You need to know who these characters are.
Well, 100%. I think you undersell the talent because you don't prop them up. You don't make them feel like a bigger deal. And also, if you're somebody flipping through the channel and all of that, as Wren Sinclair coming out here in her best Zack Ryder gear.
Yeah,
Zack
like
Ryder went to the gym gear
for those
with
who
the
are
one leg singlet here.
yeah, for the knee pad, please still be happy because she has a
On
visible knee pad.
Right. But if you're flipping through and you catch a video package and that's what sells you, like I said, he brought it up and it's a perfect comparable of UFC does it all the time.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to know every goddamn MMA fighter.
No.
You can't possibly do that, especially with how much they have talent go in and out, up and down, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So you give a 2-minute video package at most, even probably, and here's this story going into this. Here's why the fight's happening. Here's da da da. Here's enough to snap you and give you the basic groundswell of information. Versus go Google it. And that gatekeeping is what ostracizes a lot of fans either trying to come back to wrestling or trying to get into wrestling, especially female fans.
Oh, I mean, again, for a fan base that should be trying to build up the female love, they are often very, very dark and demeaning to the female section of the fan base, which blows my mind. But at the end of the day, it is incumbent of the companies to tell the story, to paint the picture of the characters, to make anybody and everybody care. That snobby mentality of like, well, I know that. And you said it. You list off, especially when it gets into New Japan and AAA and all this. Like I spent a lot of time watching AAA. You spent some time, a good amount of time watching New Japan. We kind of cross over with some of like the European indies. But again, we'll see somebody and be like, who is that? Where is that? Like, and again, anyone here is like, I don't know who that is. What is wrong with explaining it to people? Why not embrace it? It's like if a team signs a rookie and you're like, oh, is that kid going to be good? You're like, well, he played here. He did this. He did that. Not fucking figure it out. What's wrong with you? Clearly you don't.
Absolutely. Which, by the way, if anyone's taking Maddie Rinkowski, Wren Sinclair here, good luck. But I'm taking Roxanne.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking the whole time, it's like if you open a book and the author gives you the backstory on the characters involved. Why can't pro wrestling do that? Why should it be, well, and then fucking Bilbo shows up. Well, who the fuck's Bilbo? I don't know. Google it. That's that asshole mentality here.
Yeah. And going back to your example of UFC, Nick, if they sign a guy out of Bellator or someone out of K1 and they come in and they don't tell you, they're just like, oh, so-and-so, and throw them in the ring. Everyone's like, all right. But when you sit down and explain that, this guy's a K1 champion or this guy's this and that and this and has these accolades and is undefeated in his professional career. Now you're sitting there going, okay, this might be interesting. He's going to take on a guy I know. This could be cool. That is the job.
Oh, Christ, even last sports comparable here, because especially a Maple Leaf fan, if they go and sign somebody or they trade for somebody, they'll explain why they made the move. Well, we really like his game, da-da-da-da-da. This is all that.
Yeah, there's hundreds of athletes out there in each league. There's hundreds of wrestlers out there all around the world doing a whole bunch of different things, and nobody's expected to know them all at all. And again, there is a small pocket of skid marks, as I like to call them, that hate everything except very niche specific shit and aren't very open to listening to anybody else come in and have an opinion different than theirs. They're the same people that when you say, oh, I don't agree with that, they tell you to die or wish disease and death on you. Like it's a very niche pocket, and they don't represent the wrestling world. That's why we do what we do. We are the utopia that brings everyone together.
Right, but unfortunately, at times, though, that group seems to be the most vocal.
Yeah, well, they got the most time on their hands to sit and thumb away.
Right, eating their chicken nuggets.
I Luke.
I like.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to take Sporty Spice here.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
She got pop rocked. Oh, she gave up the pin.
Into a crossface and the tap out.
There you go. There you go. So pop rocks is no longer enough. She pop rocks it into a submission.
Well, that was more, I'm sending a message. Like, this is a little, I don't know if this is a heel turn or more of just adding an edge to her, because it was one of those that they almost had to pull her off from breaking up the submission.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, it just adds like this comment here, and then I'll get back to this one because I want you to answer it. Roxanne's new attitude makes her a stronger character. So what she's doing now, she's still babyface, but she very much has that edge, and she doesn't take shit from anyone. She's walking around slapping everybody in the face. She's not just happy with a pin. It's good character development to avoid her being stale.
Absolutely, and especially if you're going to go to the main roster and you're going to be up there with all them killers, and you're just Roxy, the smiley baby face, you get eaten alive a little bit like how Bailey was initially. Of you've got to come in with an edge, and especially being of a smaller stature, I'll say, it establishes as to why she can go with somebody like a Nia Jax, because she's just gonna
she's feisty,
be ruthless. Yeah, it's when I see you, it's on sight.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. This one's for you. And
how am I catching shots for you being a Leafs fan?
Well, it's saying, did you vomit saying the words Leaf? So people don't know that you are kind of a pseudo Leaf fan at this point.
I kind of have to be, because
you're a big Austin Matthews fan. I know that.
Oh, absolutely. Man's on my fantasy squad. Man's is just killing the game for me. He's
just burying
top pick. I may not be winning, but I'm top four.
Yeah, riding that Matthews train. He burying biscuits left, right, and center.
Facts. Oh, well, I was going with just, do I know them? Okay, I draft you.
Yeah, well, it was a good choice. It was a good choice.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
It worked. Who would you make for the best president? Heyman, Triple H, Rock, or Cody? What? President of what? Like the company?
Hey, we're going actual.
Heyman?
Honestly, Heyman's the most that fits with actual current U.S. politicians, at least the character that he plays, 100%.
Are we talking about like actual politics?
I don't know. I'm going with how that would be the question. I just took it as that question. Christ, Dwayne could get voted and get elected in our country. That's a legit possibility.
Yeah, I mean, the Donald got in. Arnold ran a state.
Yeah, it's amazing. Jesse ran Minnesota.
Jesse in Minnesota, Kane out there fucking up Knoxville. Here we go.
Right.
2-0. Rock statement instead of bank statement. Very well played.
Dun,
dun, dun. I like what Roxy's doing. It's keeping her interesting because she is kind of hovering at the edge of, push me up, would ya?
Right.
Pop, rock, and drop it.
Steven saying the breakup of Bar Rescue is up next. Yeah, the implosion. Yes. John Taffer is going to be the special guest referee here.
Should.
Mick, what up? Roxanne is approaching her AJ Lee era.
Maybe a little early.
Bold strategy. I dig it.
Yeah, it's early. It's early. She's young. She's coming up. To give her a chance. She's got 10, 20, 10, 20 would be bold, but 10, 15 years of a career to go before, we'll see where she gets.
Well, yeah, but I think she's very much getting into that same kind of line there.
Mm-hmm. I want to see if she could work like action. Could you see her convincing that she is like that AJ Lee heel style? Like right now we still like, we like her. So could she be a devious heel?
But was AJ ever really truly a devious heel, or was she more of just kind of that kind of smarky but sparky, spunky? Like I said, that little bit of when I see what's on site, but I'm also a little bit up in the head here. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, definitely down the same lane, same vibe, very similar look. A lot of people have made those comparables.
Well, Christ, even when Punk's out there taking pictures with her and Cora Jade saying, and they're spending time with dad.
Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern time, there's a press event for Elimination Chamber.
You can't keep springing this shit on us, WWE.
We're already covering a lot of shit, man.
I tried so hard and got so far.
He won't let me stop.
Right. Good God. Between him and fucking Tony, just Jesus H tap dancing Christ.
So it might be a late one here on Thursday, folks. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We need some sleep.
Was it 11 p.m. or was it 11 a.m.?
PM. Because they're in Perth.
For fuck's sake.
All right. So then we got Metaphor and the No Quarter Pound crew.
This all seems like it gets a 4 outside of Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend.
I feel like Lash and Jakara could break free. Just be a tag team.
Yeah, facts. Just you do you. That's what we came here for. We don't give a shit about nobody else here.
I know, right? Like, I mean,
Nolan was looking like a giant toddler here with his fucking matching sweaty onesie here.
And this No Quarter Pound crew is the most hodgepodge island of misfit toys in the entire company.
Job Squad 2.0. It's like the union there. Remember when it was like Nick Foley, Big Show, and Ken Shamrock?
Just like, how did you all come together?
So Josh Briggs coming out.
Briggs looking good, man.
Got very Baron Corbin heel vibes a little though. Very much got some Baron Corbin vibes coming.
You're not wrong. I'll take that.
It's not a bad place to be, but it's also could be a blessing and a curse.
We'll see. I think Briggs has got something here as a solo guy. No Steve.
Again,
I'm not sure about No Steve yet.
No, I think you could do something with him. I mean, Christ, whenever they do another, Iron Claw movie, Iron Claw 2, Lacey Von Erich, he can be involved in that.
There you go. Both chambers are stacked. Both chambers locked and loaded, ready to go, folks. We will be here live Saturday morning. Right. I see that evil grin on your face.
I thought of something.
I know you.
Nope.
There you go.
Yeah, see, like I said, so Brooks Jensen coming out here looking like an extra from looks like he's on the cast of a CMT show, or at least an extra in Iron Claw.
I'm expecting him to be in the background of Roadhouse next week.
That looks terrible. I like Connor. I've been to 2 or 3 of his fights live.
Yeah.
That looks fucking awful. There's a reason that's going straight to Apple TV, which all of like 10 people have.
But we'll see. This could be a good match as Bar Rescue about to take on each other. So
Josh Briggs taking on Brooks Jensen.
Do you think that Jensen needs to get a haircut to even begin to take him serious?
No, because I think you can work with it. Well, no, I'm being dead ass. Because think about it, granted it's NWA, and all of that, but you've got like the Thrillbilly and stuff like that. The Outrunners, not out friends of the channel, the Outrunners and everything. That stuff very much still has a place in pro wrestling.
Fair enough.
I think you lean into it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. I'll take that. I accept that. 2-0.
It's unique. It used to be the standard. Let's be honest here. Everyone forgets the days when Scott Hall had a giant Magnum TI mustache and everything like that.
Right. But the president question is a YouTube poll. Cody is at 37% right now. Cody's the best politician out of the 4.
I don't know. Dwayne's getting heat for being too much of a politician and still getting people. Think about it. He's getting booed and then still just has to, and the millions and everybody's right back on his side. Right. Dwayne might be, there's only one out of those 4 that actually people have talked about running for president in our country, and it's Dwayne.
But Mr. Congeniality, fucking Cody Rhodes out there shaking hands and kissing babies. Not other than that fucking neck tattoo, he's got it locked.
No, that's how he gets, a certain
The cool
demographic there,
demographic.
because it shows he's got an edge. Shows he's badass. This man's got a neck tattoo.
Right. John Taffer for president, completely different.
Well, followed up, John Taffer would be hilarious as a special guest referee.
Yeah. Well, if anyone needed a makeover.
As right now, well, Jensen's out here stomping a mud hole and walking it dry in between this little area of. Why did we go to commercial there?
Yeah, I don't know.
But between the barricade and the little plexiglass that they still have up from the Thunderdome, he's just out there stomping a mud hole, which no countouts. Is it no DQ? Did I forget that? Did I miss that? But why would you cut to commercial as he's like just about to start whooping his ass some more?
Right. I really don't expect anything big to happen at the EC Press event. No, they'll just try and get you. It's just a hype event to get everyone jacked about the. We see it when they go to Saudi. We see it in other places. We saw it recently for Mania. It won't be like the Mania one, but
no.
Hey, Roman won't be over there. Rock probably won't be over there.
Not at all. Not at all.
But
Lash Legend, bless you.
Go.
No, I was just reading a comment. Just agreeing with the peoples. Oh, it was MDB saying Lash Legend, bless you, is all.
Yes, absolutely. Picking Briggs. Oh, he's working with scraps for hair, Nick. That's kind of my thing, right? Like it's a thin situation.
So how long did Baron Corbin rock the skullet before anyone said anything?
Huh? He said it pretty quick, actually. We got on him pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, but he still kept rocking it.
No, he did. He didn't give a fuck.
Right.
Briggs versus Dijak. Let's go. Dijak becoming a bit of a gatekeeper in NXT.
No, that. And I'm worried because I've heard his contract's coming up soon. So I'm worried a little bit.
Chambers, you better be. We didn't give you Elimination Chamber as a nickname for nothing.
Facts.
You have to show up.
We have extended our option on Steven Elimination Chamber.
Folks, we are in another commercial break coming up to about the hour mark of our live stream and almost halfway through the show here tonight. Remember, we are back at it for Dynamite tomorrow. Impact on Thursday. A very interesting night heading the night before No Surrender. SmackDown, the go-home show for Chamber on the eve of Chamber. And then we will be here at 4:30, maybe 4:20, depending on how fast we can finish our stuff. But be here at 4:30 a.m. for Elimination Chamber on Saturday morning. That's right. If you're new here, 4:30 a.m. Somebody accused us of being dedicated today, Nick. I'm not sure if we're dedicated or
it's insanity. It's insanity. It's a condition. It's a problem. Honestly.
It's a problem. If anyone asks us about Saturday night, I will reach through the computer and smack you. But we may need some sleep.
You don't want to watch Danielson and Akiyama?
Oh, fuck. We'll be there. No, don't. You never know.
Right. That's the thing. You say that now, sir. Literally, we're going to be here for SmackDown. Go and take a quick walkabout and turn around and be back here for Elimination Chamber at 4:20, 4:30 in the morning here.
It's fact. So make sure you hit like, subscribe. If you guys want to be a friend, tell a friend, take the link from these streams or from this channel, drop it anywhere you know of people talking about wrestling. We would greatly appreciate it. Right now, we are pushing towards 4K and climbing by the minute, and we want to hit 4K before our birthday, which is coming up very shortly.
I'm saying 4K by Chamber. Screw y'all.
Chamber and birthday are very close together.
So yeah,
4K by Chamber. I like his idea.
There we go. Yeah, I'll continue on with that once we get once we get another commercials. We're back to the action here.
Whoa,
interesting. Yeah, see, no, it's thin here, but it's all here. Like he's just got the super mullet. It's all just in the back.
It's just so curly.
Well, and the mustache doesn't help either. It fits. It completes the package.
Right. Badly timed commercial break, says Sean, which we agreed with. We were a little confused. Yes, just in case anyone else didn't know, Brooks Jensen is the son of Bull Buchanan.
Yes.
Briggs for the win. KJ, people once crowd surfed a baby to meet The Rock. Facts. There you go. I believe you. I'll take it. I mean, he did have a show about being president or wanting to be.
Well, I mean, Cody's out there hugging blind fans and everything, and just he
He's the
is
best man at
he
random
is pro wrestling Jesus right now.
Just showing up at people's weddings is
right. Literally, that's why I had the whole sign of John. I was just asking for an interview. This man's willing to go out for people's, being their best mans at weddings here.
I gotta find that clip. So, badly timed commercial. Did your hat tweet the I'm curious. Is there an answer?
There
it is.
If my hat is taking over, I don't have to work anymore. Oh, yeah. So he was saying how it had to be the hat because it wasn't me. But you caught you on the Twitter, it wasn't me. But you said it did it once solo, wasn't me.
There you go. Join the wave. Just randomly, everyone just start putting, put up as many random symbols. Just confuse everyone else in wrestling.
That's not hard to do. I think everyone, Christ, Meltzer's all the way confused.
Right. Everyone go right now and tweet out an hourglass on behalf of Anthony.
At Dave Meltzer.
Fuck it.
Fuck him.
Big drop kick. And we got a 2 count.
Apparently I was out here giving advice yesterday. Big Nick told me the other day to sleep Friday since Elimination Chamber starts at 1:30 a.m. my time.
Yes.
Yeah, you might want to take a walk about that.
Yeah, sleep Friday all day.
I did drop the time, the graphic that they pulled up in our Discord there with all the times for all that.
That's like where you are. I saw that. I did.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up right now.
Yeah.
Just so I can read it off.
Big choke slam by Brooke. Oh, no.
Two go. So, Australian Western Standard Time is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 a.m. Central Standard Time, 4 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 a.m. Hawaiian Standard Time, 12 a.m. So midnight.
Randomly tell us. Wait, it's going 6 local?
6 local will be start time.
Well, why not they start at 8 like they do here?
I don't know.
Then we all can get up and
book the fucking show. Like, I don't know how to answer for them.
If you started like 7:38, then we all get to sleep in a little longer.
Yeah, but so 6 p.m. start time. I wonder how long it's going to go. If that's a pre-show, or if even that's different than. I don't live in Australia, so I don't know if there's different time zones in Australia that Australian Western Standard Time is different than Australian Eastern Standard Time.
We're getting.
There's a difference between Eastern Time and Western Time in the U.S. Right. So I don't fucking know. I'm not a scientist.
Matches back and forth, by the way, not bad.
Oh, big ass goes on.
Oh, this is the death of Jensen here. Is his mouth bleeding?
Yeah, Jensen's mouth is bleeding. 2, 3.
Wow, Briggs just laying waste to his old friend. And then hugs him. I love you, man.
Right? I think we called both men each other's names multiple times in this match.
All right. Yeah, no, just kept mixing it up. One's Brooks, one's done. Who cares?
Right. One's bar, one's rescue.
Yeah, Josh Briggs.
One's got a mullet, the other doesn't.
Yeah, I think Josh Briggs was the expected winner here, Nick, and successful.
Right. And you are right. His mouth is busted open here.
Yeah, he took a potato. Where is Booker T? Booker T got a medical procedure. He will be back next week.
Because as we mentioned earlier, this is taped so they could go over to Perth and all of that. So again, no spoilers. We've made it so far about an hour with no spoilers. But yes, so this is tape. The only thing I think we know is obviously the Shotzi Lyra match. There's straight jacket Gacy here.
Yeah, we got Gacy again held prisoner. I guess he's being held prisoner by Dijak. What's with the music?
Why is I feel like if you took Dijak is just fucking McBain of NXT right now. I think if you just took everything from his segments, just put them all together, it would be like actual McBain and make a fucking movie. WWE secretly sliding in a WWE Productions movie in NXT, just segment by segment here. This is fucking Batman and the Joker right now here. You've got nothing. The Gacy's in a padded room behind plexiglass.
He breathed the butterfly, though.
Yeah, he drew a smiley face. Like I said, this is Batman and the goddamn Joker. Where are they?
Yeah.
You have nothing. Nothing with all of your Dajakanita. Oh, and he's got shout out
Crucifino.
Italiano there as the attorney.
So Dijak
he's doing the fucking Batman voice too, even.
Yeah. The Punisher vibes, Dijak.
Right. Like I said, McBain.
But it's hilarious because I guess I never knew this, but he's playing a cop. Like he legit trying to pass himself off as a cop. Then Crucifino's like, it's illegal. We gotta like, oh, good Lord, good Lord.
When you get the equalizer from Wish.com.
What, in the Arkham Asylum? Yeah, exactly.
Facts. Hey, so Carmelo showed up at the barbershop, and it was questionable, wondering if him and Trick would still share the same barber.
Well, someone said Lexis King goes there, so there you go.
I don't know who his barber is, but I don't know if they're doing a fantastic job or a terrible job, because it's kind of
right.
It's just you want to look at it, but you also want to look away at the same time.
I have no idea.
Hot breath having ass.
Again, I mean, it's interesting. So where can we go with Dijak and Gacy at this point? Like, realistically, where do you go with this shit?
I don't know. I'm just already. This whole thing cracks me up, and I like Dijak, but the lawyer gimmick in 2024 is a choice. It's a choice.
Dun, dun, dun. There was where's buzzing? I wanted to click on buzzing. There it is. Buzzing. What's up? What's going on? Go check out our friends. Give them some love. Another member of the fantasy faction out there. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Good to see you.
Which we're winning, by the way. Shout out.
I like when we take a couple rounds off to let other people have a turn.
Just let y'all catch up.
Right. We're gonna be five time.
See that I can do the Booker T to five time.
The lawyer gimmick in 2020. Yeah, no, that's his gimmick. Crucifino, whatever. Luca Crucifino. What? I don't know.
He's Italiano and Mambo Italiano. Yeah, bold strategy, Cotton. Bold strategy. This is a fun NXT episode. It's a fucking all over the place episode.
It's really interesting. I mean, this is kind of NXT in a nutshell, except I feel like this week I'm enjoying the in-ring stuff. Like Roxy picks up a solid win. Jensen and Brooks and Dunn were a good battle, decent match. And then we got some weird wonky side stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Well, that's why I said we're kind of course correcting of the in-ring stuff, counterbalances, Joe Gacy's hot breath having ass.
Again, wrestling has always had sides, like silly stuff or over the top stuff on the side. All right. As long as it's not your most prominent thing, as long as it's not like your heavyweight champion, I can be okay with it. But I just don't know how much further this goes. Are they going to have a fucking, a straight jacket match? Like, what are we going to do here?
does he just then arrest, Paxley and just that's his Harley Quinn for Gacy? They're both just crazy.
Maybe that's like the whole Joker Batman thing. He tries to make.
We're gonna do a whole Arkham verse here.
Did you ever really? I didn't know that Dijak was portraying like a man of the law. Even with all the other vignettes, I just thought he was like Sin City.
I thought he was going vigilante there of, trying to, like I said, like equalizer, like you said a little bit, like Luca Brasi swims with the fishes. But yeah, I thought, like you said, of Sin City, a little Terminator, a little bit Equalizer, Denzel Washington, all of that. Little vigilante there, but not like straight up past this man behind plexiglass, like it's literally goddamn Arkham Asylum.
Well, it's just funny, like when they do angles like this, like like you kidnapped him, this is a known kidnapping.
See, but when did we go to this stuff versus like Attitude Era to where it'd be like somebody orders a pizza at their home and the pizza man shows up and he's got his back to you as he's taking the pizza out of the box and he turns out, oh, it's Triple H and he's smashing you in the face and everything with that stuff, right? Like that I like a lot more than where are they?
Right, just like, wait, remember when they kidnapped they kidnapped Braun's dad? You're like, wait, isn't that Rick Steiner?
Right, yeah.
But then the cage was in the back, like in the back of the venue of like they walk out and you're like, wait, that's the cage he was in. You're like, oh, come on, guys.
Right.
We see you.
As we're replaying Trick and Mello at the barbershop here.
Oh, they're going through the history. And again, this is kind of going back what we were talking about with Little Ice Cube, was that, you give us this segment. We know we've watched, but if you haven't been watching, now you're getting a history of these two guys.
Yeah.
And it matters.
Yeah.
Or you forgot, which is quite possible with us.
Facts.
The bounty hunter. Dog.
I am the dog, the big bad dog, the bounty
hunter. He needs a Beth. Can we get a Beth in here?
Who would be Nikita Lyons?
Nikita Lyons, yes.
And then he gets fucking Jensen and somebody else to be the rest of his crew.
Yeah, you give him Nosti and maybe Lexis King, the round out the family.
Yeah.
Gacy and Dijak should settle this over some English breakfast tea and a nice game of chess.
Sure. See, I can't do the thumbs up thing like you do.
Right. Yeah, I felt like he was giving me vigilante vibes. The fact that like there's a lawyer and he's got him locked up, but it's not a kidnapping because he's a cop. And like
so he's actually a cop?
Well, that's how they just presented it.
Like, he's goddamn Steven Seagal. Out there of just, can do this and just take down 50 men.
Ridiculous. Haven't had a barber segment in a while. Yeah, I mean, really haven't. Right. I'll take you to the barber shop. That's not how that song goes.
I don't know. Do you go to the barber shop? You got nothing up here, so
every once in a while I go see the mans to hook me up, but it's mostly self-done. It's easier that way.
That's what she said.
It's true. When do you think we will return Trick Williams? Next week.
Around Stand and Deliver.
Well, they need a bit of running, they need a bit of runway, but other than that, yeah. So like next week, the week after?
Depends on when we get when we get Ilya versus Carmelo again. That'll be when we get Trick, because Trick will come back and fuck him. Pause.
Is that next week?
I don't know.
As here comes
Ariana Grace out here looking.
I was distracted. I didn't realize. Yeah,
I'm a peacock, and you got to let me fly here. She's out here looking like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Look, they got the fans doing the stupid.
The princess wave.
Right. Oh, I have my own clippers. I don't waste money on haircuts anymore. Yeah, you get to a certain point where it's much easier. I mean, grab a Bic and go.
Well, I started to know it wasn't going to work out there. It was going. So I was like, well, fuck it. Let me just see what it looks like, get used to it. And then now that's just what I do. It's way easier, way cheaper.
I got a kid brother who his hair's running away from his face, but he won't admit it. It's the funniest thing ever. Like, just give it up, bro. Give it up.
Right.
Like,
but now, granted, you got to keep this. You got to counterbalance. You got to course correct here. You got to pivot. Much like WWE, you got to pivot.
Yeah, well, that's where you go. Ariana Grace versus Timeless Tony. That's fantasy booking. Is Jacy going to wrestle tonight? Oh, okay.
Jacy and the Thoughts. That's what it is.
That's better than Bobby and the Prophets. I'm not going to lie.
And that's fine. Has anyone explained to me who the fuck this woman is on the right-hand side?
I thought she was one of the twins. There was, but she's not.
What twins? Who's
there was
twins?
Bellas? Fact checker. See, now this is where the nerdy wrestling fan can jump in the chat and be like, "You guys suck. You don't know everybody.
You idiots. You didn't know she's a 5-time Progress Pro Wrestling champion." Fuck you.
It's the dude from The Simpsons, the comic, what's his face that owns the comic book store.
Oh, comic book guy.
Comic book guy.
Worst live stream ever. So we've got Jayne versus Ariana Grace, and I think KJ is going to another time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go write a nasty tweet about how this sucks.
Right, he's gonna go be comic book guy here. But so let me know, folks, who you're taking. And I'm so surprised. Well, I shouldn't be, because I mean, she's Santino's daughter here. I've gotten behind Ariana Grace here. I think, honestly, out of every woman involved in this segment right now, this match, everything, Ariana Grace is the only one I'm actually kind of behind, I feel. And I like, so they have Thea Hale and Mystery Woman on the ringside here, confused about how to be a heel, of like, oh, we dumped her out. Do we attack her? What do we do here? What do we do now? Gigi for the win. Well, Gigi ain't here, so you got Jacy, Jayne, or Ariana. But I do kind of halfway respect Gigi for the win. Ariana says one. Excuse me, Steven saying Pig and Jacy. MDB, I see your comment, but I'm not going to click on it. But I do agree. Juan saying poor Cora Jade, she's supposed to be in this spot. Was she? Am I forgetting that Cora Jade's hurt now too? But so Wesley's course corrected and taking Jacy for the win. So we all dumb because we do not recognize Miss April of the Chase U calendar. I love that, Lady B. Yeah, respectfully. No, we're not seeing you dumb, but we know that there's plenty of, internet wrestling fans out there that would say stupid comments like that, because you've got to still build them up. You've still got to keep that continuity going. Like I said, if you're flipping through the channels and you catch a video package, Christ, it could be about Ariana Grace right there who gets dumped out again. But it could be even on this whole story. And if that's what gets you to click in, that's what gets you sold on why you should be invested in this, then it worked. I guess my biggest issue is, why are people like against doing it, of trying to explain why they're there? Like, what is your motive for not explaining this? As so random mystery woman just turns heel, and discus elbow from Jacy for the 1, 2, 3. So very much starting to get a heel turn vibe here, obviously, with the women of Chase U, and Thea's looking halfway confused. Thea's the sky blue, the fucking Julia Hart of this whole situation here of, I didn't know we were supposed to be heel, that we're going to actually cheat. Yeah, because they cut to her giving the side eye. Dale's 4-0. So Jayne picks up the win after a little bit of cheating from Mystery Woman and Thea Hale at ringside here. As we got Tony D'Angelo here, we got to sit down with the family going on here. As they're showing up after they just lost the tag titles. I already kind of like Rizzo. Now, granted, I like her as a character. She's good as a character. So far, still green as goose shit in the ring, I would say. 4-0. Jasmine Hicks? Is that her name? Jasmine Hicks, apparently. We have figured out Jasmine Hicks is the mystery woman. Does anyone know why we should know who Jasmine Hicks is, respectfully? Jasmine Hicks just got a new follower on IG. Oh, God. What happened to Tony's ear? I don't know. I didn't see anything going on with his ear here. So Tony's saying it's time I lead the family in the right direction here. No more community vote. Now it's what Tony says goes here. If you don't like it, too bad. So we're going to see a new version of the D'Angelo family here going forward here. Godfather Tony D. Yeah, well, he's a little more, Tony Soprano, just more at an Olive Garden. But Jacy Jayne, Thea Hale, Jasmine Hicks. So, yes, again, John, thank you. Again, I probably sound like a terrible wrestling nerd. Yeah, what the heck? Where should I know Jasmine Hicks from? Jasmine Nix? Is that how it's spelled? What? Now you're just starting to halfway confuse me here with this.
It's Nix. You think you
Nix?
get that right?
Nix at night?
Nix at night.
Nick Hale with the Tony D.
So now Jacy Jayne has a new friend, and Thea's going to be jealous. It's like a Young Buck storyline.
A little bit, except it's. I was going to say it's played by women, but
Played by women, not their tampons.
You went there.
Was that out loud?
Set them up and you knock it down.
Was that out loud? Oh my God!
All right,
but we are rolling along. How you doing?
I'm doing good. But yeah, I like how we had the fact checkers here. It's been a while since we've used the fact checkers out there of who is Mystery Woman.
Jasmine Nix.
So it is Nix. It's not Hicks, because everyone was telling me it was Hicks.
Is
like
she
Bill Hicks?
Is she an NIL talent that just came out? Like she just joined Chase U apparently yesterday.
I have no idea. Like I said, I probably am a terrible wrestling nerd, I guess, because I don't know where I'm supposed to know this woman from.
Stevie's granddaughter.
Yeah, Stevie's just fucking having a fit right now.
As we are getting a commercial for Elimination Chamber, and we will be here live for it, 4:30 a.m. Eastern, as we keep reminding everybody, because you better wake up and join us.
Because we also have to remind ourselves, 4:30.
We had this one circled on the calendar a while back, like, uh-oh.
Right. Cancel all plans for the day.
Where's Out of the Mud? Do we care?
In the mud. They didn't make it out tonight.
Yeah, they're stuck.
Yeah. They're waiting for a tow.
The New York Big Knicks.
It's so funny growing up. I felt like I was obligated to become a Knicks fan because I lived in New York and my name was Nick. And they have the same colors as my high school.
There you go.
But I was never a Knicks fan. Fuck them.
I agree.
Shit ass loser ass team.
Nick with a
The
whole
time growing up, the Knicks have always sucked.
It's true.
Pause.
I took it more so as Thea didn't want to be heel. I doubt it's a jealousy story. No, I think it's going to be a jealousy storyline because Jacy's okay with being a heel. So they're going to push out and Thea will get a bit of a baby face. Well, she's already a baby face, but she will be the baby face to take on Stevie Nicks and Jacy Jayne.
Yeah, well, I agree more though. I think I get what you're saying. I agree though a bit with Richard there because they kept cutting to like the side eye of like I didn't know we were going to be involved in this. It's like when you hang out with the bad kids when you're growing up and everything. And, oh, I got myself into some shit now.
Right.
Record scratch. You're probably wondering how I ended up here.
Right. Axiom and Nathan Fraser for the win. Is that up next? Is that happening? Check the calendar. Yes, go check your Chase U calendars, folks.
Right.
If you can get the pages apart.
If you can unstick the pages.
I did not know who that was with Jayne before, but she thought the second segment she has only been in Jasmine Nicks.
For the record, I have never been in Jasmine. I don't know what he was trying to say there, but respect, John. He tried. He got there.
We got there. Stevie Nicks was really mean. Chase U for the win. Oh, yeah, it's Chase U versus the number one contender for the tag titles.
Yeah, because Chase U was coming out at the end there. Fair enough. Okay.
Nicks looks like Kiana James. She wishes.
When the fuck did you become such a Kiana James fan?
I don't know.
I feel like each week you get more and more of a fan of hers.
I like her. I think she's good.
You and you alone.
Me and me alone. Anyone else out there like Kiana James? I can't be alone on this one.
Chirp.
Wesley taking Chase U. Axiom and Nathan Fraser are going to get an Andre the Chase size ass whooping. There you go. So he's not taking Knotman and Robin. Knicks are good now.
Yeah, so Keyshawn said, so take it back.
4:30 a.m. What? Yeah, what?
Why?
They got flats on their bikes, I'm guessing.
With OTM.
I thought it was going flat on their back. I was like, okay. As we're getting a replay of Ridge Holland losing his mind.
Can anyone coherently explain to me what Ridge Holland's character, gimmick, motivation is supposed to be right now?
I figured it out. He is the next villain to take on Dijak. He is the evil, he's got a British accent.
For Dijak. What is he? The Crippler instead of the Riddler?
Yeah, the Crippler. We got the Joker, or the whatever you want to call it.
We got the Laugher. We got the Crippler. What's next? Mr. Lukewarm instead of Mr. Freeze?
Right. The Rich's gimmick right now is I hurt people, but I don't mean to. Pretty accurate.
He's like a reverse Mr. Glass. Instead of he just gets broken all the time, he just breaks everything he touches.
I stand alone. Oh. Kiana James gained my respect at Halloween Havoc versus Roxy. There you go. We got one. No, there you go. We both love Kiana. It's the KJ connection. What can I say?
You can have that. That even what I'm.
Dun, dun, dun. I love Kiana James. There you go. Getting some love. This one's for you.
Hey, Nick, ESPN been talking about your Bills thing and what they should do in the offseason and draft. I'm interested to see because we're up against it cap-wise, and obviously with going that late in the playoffs, we're going to have a later draft pick. But
I vote kicker.
Fuck you.
Thea Hale became friends with Jacy when Jacy had no one losing Gigi, but Jacy was always a heel. So Jacy, I'm still waiting for Jacy. Like, are you surprised it hasn't come out that Jacy is hijacking the school?
Give it time. We're slow playing this for some reason.
Well, not slow playing it is these two both have, or
no, they're literally slow play. They're showing them in slow motion.
yeah, fucking with my vitamins.
Right. Oh, I like now we just got Mr. Fridge. Mr. Fridge, I almost end people's careers. That's what it is. He's Mr. Fridge.
Fridge Holland. I like it.
Great.
Do you you expect me to lose? I expect you to die.
I expect you to be crippled, sir.
Ridge Holland is a victim, just like Von Wagner. Oh, too many victims.
Victims of what? Their own shitty wrestling?
What's up, Andy? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Oh my God, Chandler from USC has signed a contract. No, he's still a UFC fighter.
Right. They're just doing that tie-in, which, again, a lot of that from Monday Night Raw that people aren't, well, they're talking about the Chandler thing, a little bit about the Netflix CEOs at the front row. Then we've got random bullfighter, boxer. We're getting random crossovers here with WWE being the place to be a bit here. We've got Ice Cube Son out here cutting interviews.
Right.
Wrestling is pop culture now again. It's undeniable at this point.
No, definitely. I mean, last night was hilarious. Like everybody who was anybody got pointed out last night. It was hilarious. And letting Chandler cut a promo on McGregor on a Raw was excellent.
And it does nothing but help WWE and the UFC.
Yep.
And Christ, we even talked about it on Monday to where during the whole All-Star game, we don't have any TNT titles going around. We literally have a championship brought out on the All-Star weekend show and everything. And it's got no AW logo, no nothing, no not brought to you by AW, no nothing.
Nope.
Instead, we got everybody walking around with the WWE championship.
Fact. As we're off and running, nice little exchange here by Andre and Axiom.
Right.
Tags in Robin.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is who's Batman and who's Robin here?
In my head, it's not Man with the Mask and then Robin looking.
I got you. I follow you. I'm there.
There you go. NXT were on fire these past few years. They're feeling a little
Shinged
right now.
Is that a word?
I'll take it. Hopefully, more talent comes in soon.
No, you don't need more. You need to develop your talent.
Well, and I mean, I'd argue because 2.0 wasn't that long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of in the rebirth where they were on, like you said, they've been very consistent up until maybe the last month, and they're going through a bit of a transition here.
Yeah. They're starting to have that first crop to where they lose talent, I would say. So now they need to reestablish and rebuild that talent, add back that depth, build up that depth.
Right. I agree. Got Chase you for the win. I like this one. Who is Kiana James? Vroom, vroom. I've been in a few Kias. Just say it. Has used. Yeah, no, he didn't sign.
Yeah, no.
Bills need a QB. He's surrounded with talent and still can't get it. We're not. No, don't do that to my guy.
No. I this is where I take my pause. If you're good, sir.
There you go. Nick's going to take a pause for the cause as Chase U is taking on Axiom and Nathan Fraser. Not bad start to the match. Good pace rolling, folks. And we are rolling through this show. It's going fast, actually. I will say that. Because whether or not the wrestling sucks, we never do. Tope! Double topes! The pace of this match has been pretty good. I think Big E will be on NXT next week to accept Ridge Holland's apology. Interesting. That I don't imagine they do that, but that'd be insane. They could. I'd be surprised. I got Chase University. There you go. I think it's going to be Chase. Wow, really surprised they didn't pull the Shotzi match. Thought they would since on Raw they already told us she got hurt. Yeah, but again, I think we debated this already. If it's there and the injury, I don't know how the injury works out. If it is the main event tonight, I'm really curious how they pulled that off, right? Like if you just end the show on the injury, very interesting. Them pulling it, I mean, again, I think if it isn't a big botch spot or something hugely glaring as far as like what we saw with Sammy Guevara landing on Jeff Hardy, they didn't pull that match. They let it go. So if it's just an injury and they kind of tell the story of it as it happens, I could see why they didn't. Plus, they advertised it. So I guess you got it, run it. Never let anyone discourage you about Kiana James. Christopher, I would never do that. I'm not easily swayed, sir. Thea becomes friends with Jacy. When Jacy, I think I have read that one. I feel like that's twice. What's the main event tonight? I think it might be Lyra taking on Shotzi, which is interesting because we all kind of know what happens. Unless they tie it into the fact that Tatum Paxley hurt Shotzi. How does this work? The ladies are easy on the eyes than the old bucks. Facts. You're fact. That's factual. I'll give you that. Dudes, it's Tarzan and Green Ranger in full effect. Not bad. The AEW Championship is back in stock on AEW Shop for anyone who cares. Interesting. Does anybody care? Really? I don't know. Only if you were getting the Burberry one, I could see that, Boston. Axiom, Green Hornet, and Fraser Cato. There you go. I'm still running with Not Man and Robin. I can't help it. I got Andre Chase whooping Byron Saxton's ass for talking shit. I'm down to watch Byron take a beating any day of the week. Let's go. Are you excited for BCC versus FTR? Yes. But I'm torn, Damien. There's a couple things here. One, the BCC were and kind of still are in a rivalry angle issue with CMLL. Randomly, these people show up and they're a part of the show. They jump the barricade, they get involved. Then there's a couple matches and they just move on. Now they're going to do a match in Mexico, fine. But out of nowhere, this FTR angle popped up. Really surprised by it. Now, my concern is this. We know what FTR can do. We know what Claudio can do. What will Moxley... Well, how will this match play out? Will it be outside the ring? Will there be blood for no reason? Will Moxley sell anything? If there was ever a team to get the best out of the BCC and really have a solid match, this could be it. So, yes, I am apprehensively excited for what could be coming. Axiom, Nathan Fraser for the win. I hope not. Chase you for the win. I'd rather that. Absolutely. Me, KJ. There you go. Hi. You. Me, KJ. You, Vance. They are a very good team. Who? Bird Lady versus Shotzi is the main event. Yeah, like I said, a little interesting. And I know we talked about the potential of pulling it. And I understood, like, generally they don't, even if it is taped, because you'd have to tape another match, right? So, and I mean, if they were going to extend any of these segments, it probably wouldn't have gone so well. Big. South of Heaven by Chase. Always remember Jason David Frank. Who? Anyway, added 6-man tag match for Dynamite Hangman. Yeah, Chambers, I saw this one. It's on our thumbnail, actually. I used it for the call out. RVD, Hangman, and Hook will take on Samoa Joe, Swerve, and Brian Cage. This I don't get. If you really wanted to make it interesting, put all three men on the same team. RVD just randomly being thrown into matches, fine, I guess. Swerve and Brian Cage have a history being in the same faction, fine. I don't love this. This feels like scrambled eggs to me. They don't sell MJF's title, but the AEW Championship is the best official replica on the market. It's TV accurate once you re-leather. Okay. They should sell the Burberry one. 2 count. It appears to be the old title before MJF replaced it. Doesn't have the new side plates, though. There you go. Richard. Everybody up on it. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. This match rolls on. He's up for the Razor's Edge. Oh! Countered into Hurricane Rana. Wow, is Chase you going to lose? KJ, I feel like you were close to seeing Britt Baker return. We should be, shouldn't we? Especially with, like, okay, let me ask this. I know there's an NXT match going on. If, which we all know, Sasha Banks, Mercedes shows up March 13th in Boston. If you are doing that and Britt Baker shows up too, and she's the one that is set up to take on Mercedes initially, does it feel a little weird that Britt has been irrelevant and invisible? 2 count, 2 count, 2 count. A decent tag match, guys. It's Fraser, not Axiom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Think I would tell with the mask or no mask. No mask. So, yeah, that's my question about the Britt Baker return. If you bring Britt Baker back, what do you do with her? How do they make it make sense? Jamie Hayter's got to be close to coming back, isn't she? Rumor is Britt Baker's contract is coming up soon. That'd be very interesting. Very interesting if she moves on. Because I think she's a talent. I think her wrestling needs work, but I do think she's a talent. Roll up. Counter. Another near fall. Roll through, another counter. And there you go. Chase you with the win. Decent match. I accept that. Yeah, Monet versus Britt. And I'm just wondering, like, I'd rather somebody that's been on TV consistently to kind of go towards. And truthfully, if you sign a wrestler of the caliber of Mercedes, I think she has to go after the champion. Almost instantly go after the champion. Don't waste our time. 5-0, 4-1, 4-1. Chase you. It feels like it's coming out of left field. Julia Hart is injured and she doesn't look like she's cleared for Revolution. She recently returned. Maybe she's not injured enough because she recently returned to TV after being off for quite a while. But again, oh, hey, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are here. The Good Brothers are on NXT. AJ Styles smacked them back down to developmental. And we're getting 2 sweet chants from the crowd. The Good Brothers. Where's my good brother? All right, very interesting. Gallows and Anderson take out everybody. And if we're going to get Gallows and Anderson taking on the Wolf Dogs, I'm okay with that. That works for me. Interesting. Who saw that coming? I'm shocked that hadn't been spoiled for me yet. What do you think? What did you think of Sheamus's tweet as AW fans take it as him leaving? I still don't think Sheamus is leaving. Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, we've talked about those guys possibly moving on. I don't see it. I mean, what would you do with Sheamus in AEW? That's my question. Wow, did not see the Good Brothers coming? Wow, did not see that Good Brothers in NXT. There, I know words. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it at all, Dale, and I'm really surprised. But the Good Brothers have been all but inept and useless on the main roster. They haven't done much. We've seen lots of main roster talent come down, find themselves, get in some good matches, remind people they can wrestle, and then go back up. I don't mind this, especially if it's Braun and Corbin as champion. It does have a flair to it. The brothers equal ratings. We'll find out. I'm okay with it. And here comes half a metaphor. Meta 2. Meta 2. Ayo, KJ, have you gotten to the point where you're ready for Ilya to drop the title? I'm kind of getting there in the sense that I think that Trick is the guy right now. I think there's enough momentum behind it. Now, will Carmelo beat Ilya? Maybe not. But I do think that I love Ilya. And if he stays the champ, I can live with it. But it's the tricky part of what do you feed him? Who else can he beat that will be exciting and relevant? I mean, I think Ilya is a guy that would do very well on the main roster. Speaking of a guy that would do very well on the main roster.
What? But I'm here for fully that I'd like to meet those two. I'll just say that with Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. But yeah,
I thought you were talking about Gallows and Anderson.
I was going to come back with, the Carl Anderson to my Luke Gallows. How you doing, sir?
Right. I did not see this coming, Nick.
Nobody did, but I think it's the best decision. Like you said, they have become relegated to nothing but managers and side pieces. They're furniture on the main roster. So having them be down in NXT, I'm amazed no one thought of it. No one mentioned it beforehand. It seems like the perfect play to me. It's a way to get them relevant again.
Yeah, and they just take out the entire, the two teams that were contending, to be at the top of the tag team division in NXT. They come out, wipe them out, and put everybody on notice. I'm good with this.
Mm-hmm.
And instantly the crowd starts too sweet. Woo woo. Let's go.
This is when, though, I have to do the Hunter thing of our shit was cool. That ain't.
What about that vignette? The Ilya vignette? I kind of talked over it. I'm not going to lie. But I do think that Ilya is at that point. Like, what do you think about how much longer Ilya being champion and sitting in NXT?
But that goes to the overarching thing that I don't think once this crop moves up, like we're already seeing it with Braun, we see it with Roxanne, we see it with Carmelo, Trick, Ilya. Once that crop moves up, who fills in? That question's very open. So,
well, that's why I'm wondering if Trick is the guy that stays and carries the flag for a while.
But then who does Trick go against? Who right now, outside
Gacy.
of maybe a Joe Coffey or something, would be
Joe Coffey's underutilized?
What I'm saying, outside of him, who would you say would be a credible opponent for Trick in NXT if he was world champion?
Yeah, I mean, you got some work to do. I mean, Lexis King doesn't feel viable yet. You're not going to put any of the ones. Oba, yeah, but I mean, he could be.
Oba's so new. Oba's so new.
Let him be champion. Send Trick up. I don't know. It's very interesting times right now with NXT because there are a bunch of people we feel could move up, but then what do you do with them there? So if you are trying to keep this brand relevant, you need faces. The OG Bullet Club is not a bad show.
Oh, 100%. And like we both talked about, they have done next to nothing on the main roster. I love that you said AJ slapped him all the way back to development.
That's what it felt like, right?
No, man.
Right. So, and again, I think that's what they were going to do with Shotzi. I think Shotzi was going to have a run. Unfortunately for her, we're about to see an untimely break that's going to take a little while to recover from.
Right. And well, the Christ, they just did it with Baron Corbin. They did it. Yeah. Who was just down there before him? Ziggler until he left. But yeah, they've done it before. So it's a nice little, it's like a tour through the G League a little bit, like going NBA there to where helps you get your game up, helps you refine your shit, and then you can hop back up to the main squad.
Yeah, and again, I think in a place where they're not really sure where to book you or give you W's, you go down to NXT, you get some wins, you get in some good matches, and then people are excited to see you return.
And it is a double-edged sword and a double advantage for WWE because now you have guys like a Braun Breaker that's been around Corbin. So now he's been around a main roster guy. Now you kind of get that vibe. Or guys that work with these talent, like even everybody that worked with Becky, Tiffany, all of that. Tiffany's now even on the main roster. You get to gauge where they're at when they work with somebody who's been there, done that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat because there's a very interesting theory being pinballed around right now that I haven't clicked on yet. But we are getting Thea talking to Fallon Henley, she's sad again because her friend has a new friend.
Who has the deeper spray tan?
That's not what I thought you were going to ask.
Well, I mean,
Lash Legends improving. So how about this? Tama Tonga is the new leader of the OC. We're getting creepy Japanese vignettes.
ooh.
And if you give Tama Tonga some wingman, and then they spend a little time and work their way back up, watch out, AJ. That's got some legs.
That's got some legs. They run NXT and Three Faces and all of that. And yeah, that's got a little bit there. That's got some legs. And especially because I think everyone's going to be like, whoa, he's got to be with Roman because he looks like discount Roman. But if you tie in the whole Bullet Club angle, or sorry, the OC, the gimmick infringement free.
Oh, Manny, now sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Manny was verifying. I misunderstood Manny's question.
Oh,
now, did we get did we get an additional vignette tonight? Did I miss it?
No, I have not seen one.
But that's it. That's an interesting tie to the why would the OC all of a sudden show up? Well, what if one of their friends is about to?
That's super interesting. And it's a way, like we've talked about, to tie everything, to put a nice little bow on all of the discussions we've had tonight. It's a way you introduce somebody that most fans won't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, and it gives them some instant. It gives them some instant.
An instant story to go with. An instant narrative.
Instant narrative, but it also gives them that instant kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Cachet. Like it gives them credibility because he's hanging around with two guys. Well, you're giving them two guys that they know, right? Like, oh shit, we're cheering for Gallows and Anderson, and here is this guy. We might not know this guy too well, but he's hanging out with these two cool dudes,
right? But who you taking? Kiana James? Not Kiana James. Why am I blanking on her name?
Kelani James.
Kelani James.
Not Kiana James.
Yeah, the other K James. The other KJ, the third KJ, taking on Lash Legend. So we've got Spider Gwen versus Lash Legend here.
Spider Gwen?
That's her attire. That's her attire. I'm just going with what she's wearing. Kelani Jordan. So again, still KJ. But
yeah, but she just got kicked.
Oh, pump kicked midsection just out of midair here. And I've been a fan of Lash Legend for a hot minute here. The documents, I have receipts to show.
You've been pushing. I really hated how she started, but where she's going. I was almost like, do you need Jade Cargill if you got this lady?
Well, I don't know that we're not there. But I think because she initially started off in like the talk show segment is what you didn't like.
Yeah, no, I couldn't get my head around it. It was a real struggle. Yeah. It was just, again, so campy. It was part of the 2.0 era. Since they stopped that, I mean, Metaphor is a little goofy unto itself, but giving her some legitimate matches now, she looks phenomenal.
Bro, she sat there and scoop slammed Otis.
That's facts.
Like, fuck is we talking about?
Caught him in motion. Didn't pick him up. Caught him in motion and had to plant and go the other way.
Dude, clean.
Right. Breaking news, KJ and Nick, we did get a cryptic promo tonight. Okay, I missed it.
Right. I think we all missed it then. I'm going to have to look.
Fallon looks amazing. She really does. I like Fallon. Lash versus Naomi at SummerSlam written all over it.
Ooh.
In time.
Wag it off.
Oh, so so a couple of people confirming we did get it. Anybody know what the words were? KJ,
I was going to say, well, anyone be a friend, drop it in our Discord link. I'll drop our Discord link so everyone can just drop it in there. So save fact checkers. Again, this is when we have to use the fact checkers.
Yeah.
We're live. You watching us.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring in his first match in NXT, Jacob Fatu, and the crowd goes crazy. Sorry, I was dreaming. Sean, that's a dream that we all have. He may bypass NXT though.
Oh, I think if you bring in Jacob Fatu, he bypasses that all the way. I've said that before, to where that could be very much. Well, now we have corporate Dwayne, so he could just, hey Hunter, I just signed Jacob Fatu, and he's now our new advantage. He's our fucking ace in the hole here, and you got to deal with it, because guess what? I'm on the board and you're under the board.
Oh, flips out.
Ooh,
decent match.
Kelani fighting back.
I like that take though about Tama Tonga.
Oh, I think that's a fantastic take. That's something. Now, if Meltzer says anything on it, I might have to discredit it, but
yeah. Well, like I said, we get to do this live, so a lot of takes that y'all hear out there, you hear it here first.
Oh yeah. But no, I that's such an interesting thing, because it works so perfectly. Like, it's like the Good Brothers showing up in NXT. Not expected, but every piece just falls into place perfectly.
Oh, that's emphatically over. Let me know when you get the 3 count.
I just got it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I got the hand raised.
Yes. AJ. Fun facts about Tama Tonga. His uncle is Haku and his cousin is Camacho. Yes, we know. They're all tied together. We're like, bring them all in.
Is it Haku his dad?
Maybe. Or
I think it's that way. No, it's because Haku was, the Tongan prince or whatever. Remember when he had the fucking crown and everything?
You might be right.
I think it's Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. No, not Toa Leona. Tangaloa.
Kiana. Wait, why are the heels beating up the babyface who just got beat up?
Because they're shit heels. Like I said, as Kelani Spider Gwen's their way out of there.
Yeah, no, he's the nephew of Haku.
Oh, okay. Mea culpa. But yeah, Kiana James and Izzy Dan out here looking like, I'm so fancy. You already know.
Am I right? I love her. Let's go. Kiana all the way.
Right.
And Izzy Dane. Is he Dane? Is that what it is? He Dane?
Yes.
Yeah.
As I got Shotzi and Lyra doing their kind of backstage. I like the new presentations across the board.
Yeah.
Like whether it's Monday Night Raw, we've got the one long predominant shot. Even we get the angle to where like Pat's out there doing this with Jey Uso coming out, and Gunther just stops and looks at him and he just freezes. We got the teleprompters now, or telestrators. Sorry, we had that discussion.
Yeah, we had a debate.
Telestrator, not teleprompter.
Direction.
But have you thought for a second, man, I wish Kevin Dunn was producing any of this?
No. I mean, again, time for change. And listen, I don't like to speculate, but there's a really interesting thing. Vince left, he stayed. And then right before all the shit hit the fan in early January, he said, I should retire. Toodles.
I think they were telling him already. Like, Vince was the only thing keeping him there, respectfully.
Yeah, I don't know. He gives me bad vibes.
Well, he looks more like Igor than, Dr. Frankenstein. He's more, the sidekick instead of, the perpetrator, the villain there.
Who wins, Anna Jay or Fallon Henley? Currently in a wrestling match, it would be Fallon Henley. Better trained, better performer in the ring.
Again, it comes when you get all these cross-promotion matches, it depends on who's booking it. On which platform are we talking about? Are we talking straight up neutral situation?
Straight up neutral. Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go with you with Fallon. It'd be a good match.
Mm-hmm.
They're right on par, but I would
Anna's
say
getting better.
Fallon probably.
Yeah. Anna's getting better. Anna's gorgeous. I think Anna would do amazing things in NXT and help her progression. Unfortunately, she's in a place where she's not getting a lot of it. Zilla Fatu is is place to look up home values in American Samoa. I have no idea what any of that meant. C Money, do you want to help me here, my guy?
I'm not a realtor. I don't work for Century 21. I don't know what's going on here. I am not trying to do an Airbnb. What's going on? What are you talking about, C Money?
Do you see the picture going around at Zilla with
Booker
T, and he's jacked?
Yeah, well, Zilla's very much, I guess, making Reality of Wrestling Booker's promotion kind of his home base here, because he had started off his wrestling career and it kind of started and stopped and went a little sideways there. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes with his development. It's interesting that he wasn't mentioned in that Samoan family tree up there under his father, Umaga. So we'll see.
Bruh, the raw track camera shot into the stadium yesterday went hard. I loved it. Like that, we talked about it when they did it in Puerto Rico. They were like, we need to do this more. And
I was gonna say that's exactly what I thought of when they did that, because it was the same type of shot. It's so good. It's such a good shot, and that they can do it. I'm amazed that they don't do it more often. At least every premium live event.
Well, and I wonder if part of that was part of like why Dunn gets pushed out is he was hesitant to evolve. He still loved his choppy, camera cut. Now we're getting like under the wrestler corner shots. Like the corner shots have been one of the craziest things lately, of like the cameraman's right there as they're making tags. Like it's awesome.
Well, and we're getting absolutely. And we're getting speaking of being out of game, we're getting the walkthrough shots of them coming in to the arena that night, much like you get with NBA, NFL, etc. So it's got very much more a sport and a professional presentation behind it. It feels more like it's an athletic competition than a TV show. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Sorry, I just wanted to catch what the Good Brothers were throwing at us.
We're gonna stay as long as we want.
I did enjoy the calendar they put out. They were in the ring and they got mic time. This is excellent. Corbin, I didn't realize you went to NXT to become the world's largest comedian.
Oh, by the way, I did find the video package that we missed.
Oh, okay.
Read off. Well, once they're done here talking, because I literally, because somebody said something about Tama Tonga had re-signed with New Japan. I had not seen that, but so I was going to fact check that and then found the tweet. So a lot of people seem to be with like the theory you brought up from the chat and everything of that this could be a sign that Tama Tonga is on his way to NXT.
Tama Tonga reminds me of Damian Priest, just for the side note, but I'm just throwing that out there. If you go look at a couple pictures of Tama Tonga, you're like, is that Damian?
Oh, see, no, I've always thought he just looks like Roman.
He kind of looks like Roman too. A tall, skinny Roman.
Go. Yeah, next week we get the face-off between Ilya and Carmelo. We get a Heritage Cup match between Noah and Doran, one member of the No Catch crew.
Oh, they didn't even say who from the Quarter Pounder Club?
No.
And here comes Shotzi in the tank, which she's probably going to need to get around for a little bit.
That's how they got her backstage. She just put her back on the tank and just somebody hit the gas.
Did you guys see that Cody and CM Punk came out after? Yes, we did. I still don't know why Cody didn't come out while the show was still going, but that's semantics at this point. But we did post a short about what CM Punk had to say. So go check out our short section.
Right. Sorry, I'm going to read off this video package if I can get it to pause when I want it to. So, men deny their truth. Come on. I will be a mirror to it. And then it's red breaking glass. So, again, super vague, but we did at least get something just to confirm what people were saying in the chat.
All right. Okay. I still it would be a cool visual, like Cody and Jay and Seth show up on SmackDown, not like next week when we're back. And they show up and they're in the bloodline with the Rocker in the ring, and it looks like they're gonna come out and go after them, and just Tama and Jacob and Lance and like just the Samoan army shows up to clean house. Let's go.
Wait, are you in like going at?
No, joining. Initially joining.
So joining the bloodline. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
the Rock and the Samoans are running WWE.
Oh, very much. Like I said, they are the Samoan NWO right now. Very much of the Rock kind of has just big muscular Eric Bischoff vibes of I'm the guy who runs the place here. I'm on the board. I'm the one that, I'm the straw that stirs the drink around here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was like, is that when she did it?
Right. That's the thing is, unfortunately, so we do have Shotzi versus Lyra. For those who don't know, Shotzi, this is where she ends up hurting her knee. I've heard it's in a DDT spot, but she tore her ACL. And you mentioned earlier, she's out for 9 months now due to surgery that she just successfully had. So T's and P's, speedy recovery with that she had today. But yeah.
It is interesting that they addressed it on Raw the night before. Well, they had to because they needed to replace her
in a week before.
That's right. They had to replace her in the match. That's why.
Yeah.
But ding, ding. Here we go. What if it's Bo Dallas? I struggle with this one because I just don't know if Bo Dallas returned. Like, if you're going to bring Bo Dallas back, do you just bring him to the main roster because of the story you're going to tell?
It's where do you fit in Bo Dallas right now?
Anywhere you want. You got to make him make sense. We're going to have this argument again. You got to write it. You got to write him in.
I get that aspect of it, but it's getting to the point of, and I'll tie this into our TNA conversation. I want TNA to figure their shit out because WWE can't hold 75 pop star talent because then it's going to be, well, why isn't that getting pushed? Why isn't that guy getting pushed? Not everybody can get pushed at the same time. Good wrestling promotions, and this goes to why people want to sit there and say, oh, we bash EW. No, having good competition, having good, viable other wrestling promotions that people can go to is the best thing for pro wrestling because you develop stars, you develop talent, you develop attractions. You get, that spectrum of pro wrestling when you have that. So seeing them fuck up and seeing them collapse in on themselves is disheartening.
It's frustrating. That's I think the frustration we see on a weekly basis right now. And we're hearing that it's internal frustration, it's external frustration. Fuck, you got Dave Meltzer and JD fucking frustrated. It's a whole new ball game. But you're right. You don't want it to go back to those monopoly years. It sucked. Made guys like me like, oh fuck it, I can't watch this. Like, right. Well, there was too many people. They signed everybody, all the peeps, and didn't use anybody.
Absolutely. This isn't the fucking NFL to where you can just have all the superstars in one league because then that just becomes too much. You can't have every team be a good team. Sometimes you got to spread that fucking talent out there.
Lyra's entrance feels like has a big star feel. I like Lyra's entrance. Lyra's actually grown on me, and I will say she's good in the ring.
She's like right there, better in the ring. I would say to the WWE style. She was not wrestling the WWE style beforehand.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, but like she comes out and now you got the fans. It's odd. It's funny because you just had the Good Brothers and they're using the Too Sweet gimmick on Lyra's entrance now.
I'm so weird because every time now I'm like, is this where she does it? When do they stop the match?
They must have made it a considerable length because I can't imagine. Like it's the main event spot. You can't just end the show early. Oh, there it is.
That's like I said, it was the DDT spot. So right there, that's exactly where she did it. I said it and it happened because you see her the second she plans doing a drape over DDT onto the outside, and Shotzi instantly grabs at her knee and just is instantly off. As we go to commercial.
We go to commercial break. And again, listen, it's super unfortunate. We talked about Nikita Lyons earlier tonight. Shotzi injured, comes back, gets a little bit of love, gets injured. Gets a little bit of love, comes back, gets injured. Like she hasn't been able to have a consistent run. We saw it with Tegan Knox. It kind of hindered her progress, even though she's been good now. But Nikita's the same way. We all believe that Nikita's a star, but if you can't stay healthy, then we got a problem, and it's unfortunate. I don't wish any ill on any of these competitors. A nothing spot, a drop down off the apron DDT. I've seen it a million times, and it just popped her knee. And it's just the same thing with Mercedes, man.
It's super unfortunate because, like you mentioned, Tegan Knox. I think Tegan Knox would be a bigger star right now than she is, respectfully, if she hadn't gotten hurt twice if she didn't break all of her knees all the time. Like we're both big sports fans. We talk about everything from hockey to basketball to NFL. You get teams though that you'll even see a player that gets injury prone of that every time they're just about to make that next step up, they get hurt. And then now it's, do I want to invest that much into you? Do I want to really put you in those spots? Because are you going to get hurt again and fuck me over?
Yeah. And again, unfortunate nature of the beast. You got to be reliable. I think that's one of the concerns at WWE. Like if Sasha Banks comes to you and says, I want Charlotte Flair money, ironically, Charlotte Flair's out now, but she's been pretty durable. Let's be fair.
Right.
But that's what their concern is. Okay, we pour all this money into you. We push you towards the title. Do you blow a knee and then you're out a whole bunch of months? Tegan Knox, you're right. I mean, when you sit out for almost 2 years in a 2.5, 3 year span, it's really hard to build your equity. It's really hard to build up your name, your brand, who you are.
Respectfully, a current example, and I'm a huge fan of her, is Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter had the AEW women's roster by storm, and now she's gotten overtaken by a storm. 100%. So we don't even know if or when she's going to come back. So that's where it gets super scary. Where it gets
feel like she's been out since August. Like she's been gone forever.
It feels like she's been out for over a year.
Like, can anybody confirm when Jamie Hayter got injured? Because I feel like it was before
Wembley. It was before Wembley. Because
they fucked around and Sheeta ended up with the belt. And yeah. Jacob Fatu is the next step, obviously. Oh, go.
This is interesting. So we come back, and again, T's and P's, obviously, we talked about. Shows she's at least had successful surgery on it. Hopefully, speedy recovery. Such a freak accident spot, but we're just kind of stalling here now.
Did they run an angle? Oh, here comes Ava. How much time's left on the clock? A lot.
A minute?
Oh, a minute. Okay.
So we're going to end probably right at 10 o'clock. So Ava's got to come out here.
Oh, this is why they aired it, dude. We're going to get a 6-minute match.
That's even worse, though.
An open challenge.
Please don't be anyone credible, because unless you're going to have a fucking 15-minute match or something.
It's going to be Tatum.
Lola. Oh, no, Lash.
Oh, shit.
She didn't get very far. I love this and I hate this, because
but I get it and I'm okay with it.
I'm more okay, but
I get it. And again, I mean, you're looking around and you're like, we're filming right now. Like, what are we gonna do? They're like, Lash, go.
Right. Well, they even mentioned she didn't get far after last match, so it's okay. You just had a match. Go out there and have a fucking 3-minute match.
And
now you can say you wrestle the women's champion.
Yeah. You run out Fallon or Kiana or one of the other ladies that are developing behind this, and they can't lose as quick. Lash now has an out, but she's going to look really good. She's in a title picture by accident.
Yeah, she has the out of, I'm unprepared, and I just wrestled. So those are your 2 outs. And that's, like you said, this was probably very much on the fly.
Yeah.
We talked about them pivoting. This, again, is still a good pivot.
Yeah, you couldn't send out any of the other ladies. I mean, you figure the people that we saw earlier in the night are not ready. Like, they don't have time. Like, throw on your gear quick, right?
Yeah, respectfully, Lash can still take an L here, and it doesn't end her push or her momentum.
Yeah, your options were Lash, really, because Kiana was in street clothes, Izzy was in street clothes. So again, a real quick, you have a commercial break to make a decision. This is why they didn't rescind the match. Now I get it.
That's fine. Well, that's why I initially guessed like Lola or something, because I'm like, is it somebody that we haven't seen that they pulled out? But that would be, then you're setting them up to just kind of look like almost take a jobber L. But
yeah, you can't have,
this is your best pivot here. Like I said, it's the AI crossover again from WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so those who are just tuning in, if you don't know, I see the chat talking about it. But yeah, Shotzi landed awkwardly on a DDT from basically from the apron to the floor, and she is out for 9 months. So basically, her 2024 season is in the books.
Right.
So thoughts and prayers to her. She's a young lady. I'm hoping she bounces back, but she tore her ACL, which is not a fun one.
Yeah, so she's probably right now out till at least like what, Survivor Series, give or take.
Yeah, well, we're almost March. Yeah, like 9 months.
So even it might even be past that. So yeah, you might be literally, it might be 2024 is just in the books for you.
Mm-hmm. Which is unfortunate because it looked like they were planning something with her. At least here, she was in. She could have been the one that qualified for the elimination chamber, but she didn't make it.
Well, you mentioned Jade Cargill earlier when we were talking about Lash Legend being out here, which, by the way, I'm like I said, I initially didn't like that Lash was in the spot. You've sold me fully on her being in the spot. Mm-hmm. But how do you feel about everybody that's like,
they can fuck off?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I didn't even get to the question.
I'm just kidding. Doesn't matter what
Jade Cargill, that WWE changed their mind and pulled her from being in the chamber and all of this. Like, I never thought that was the plan ever.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you a question? Do you really think that Jay was supposed to win last night and they changed their mind 2 hours before Raw?
No.
I don't believe that either. That's been widely reported today that 2 hours before Raw, they changed their mind and said Jay's not going to win. But they had Jimmy there. Everything else they did played into the angle that we're building. So I find it very hard to believe that these dirt sheet people are trying to explain that. Same thing with
I want to know. I want names. Who's the source on this?
I don't know.
Wrestling Observer Network. They can piss off because at this point, Meltzer's just gone full off the deep end here. He's just lost it. But there's no way you could think that. We literally even were here live. And right once we saw Jimmy and Solo show up, we were both talking about, well, they've kind of already told you probably where they're going to go with the finish here because they've already established that the bloodline's in the building. So clearly we're going to get here towards the end. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, I liked the end of it, of wherever you go, however much over you get, whatever, I'm still the older brother, all of that. You get the tie-in of the brother storyline. I like that, but to think that they just randomly fucking pivoted on that, like, no, they set that up for the longest time. Jay was the outside bet. Jay was a reach. Was not expected to win. It was hopium.
Yeah, I think it was the original source was Wrestle Votes, and they said many people in run-throughs up to 6 p.m. yesterday believed that Jay was going to win the title.
So your friend and your friend's friend is many people now? What?
Yeah, but that's the same thing with, again, what if you had decided, if you all got together and said, all right, we're going to put Jade in the elimination chamber, what would have changed? What did she trip and slip? Like, I understand her mom passed away recently, but I think it was her mom that passed away, or her grandmother.
Yes.
I'll apologize if I'm wrong.
You got on a jackknife powerbomb.
Match, by the way, on the fly. Lash is doing well. There's no prep for this at all.
We're calling in the ring, bub.
But that's why I don't buy into these stories. The same people, they wasted Jade. Yeah, they signed her to a multi-year contract. They have her in TV commercials, but yeah, they've wasted her. No, they're making sure, guys.
Patience is a virtue, and unfortunately, no one has that virtue anymore. But 1, 2, 3.
I have to admit, Lyra looked like a little kid jumping on her auntie. Like, she's so little.
She's a little.
She doesn't have the greatest frog splash.
No, it's a cacao splash. But even people saying, "Oh, well, it changed so fast." Maybe it changed fast because we had Raquel come out last night. Let's not fucking forget about that. That was not expected or anything. That Raquel now is, to me, somebody who could be a favorite to win the chamber here. Would you want Jade to win the chamber and then lose at Mania, or even heaven forbid she loses the chamber? Is that how you want to start her off?
Yeah, again, if we said it, like, I mean, you introduced us to her at the Rumble, but whatever you put her in's got to be of value, and you can't just shove Jade in there right now because you have, like, she's not going to beat Becky, she's not going to win the chamber and go on. So, is the chamber really where we want to debut this lady? Do you want her doing moonsaults off the fucking structure? Like, is that going to be the best thing for her?
And part of probably the biggest thing that pisses me off with this whole narrative that's come out is, again, it's all sourced from Meltzer of, well, on SmackDown, she was back there with other women that were in, the chambers. So it was clearly set up to, introduce her to being into that, fold and everything. Dave, we're not trusting you seeing anything and using that as your, information on booking anymore when you took a decade-old segment and thought it was fucking current.
Yeah.
The glasses, you need to fucking make sure you got them bifocals or something here, Uncle Dave.
And I think we've said it a million times, Nick. It blows. I think for all the people that tune into us, a lot of the reporters out there, and we've never, ever claimed to be wrestling reporters. And that's why, because we are giving you our insight, our knowledgeable take, but these people are reporting shit like it's fact when it's just coming off the top of their head. And because it gets clicks, they put it out there and it's garbage. And more people need to stay away from the garbage that comes out.
And stop taking it as gospel. Like we say, we're pundits, we're personalities. We're not reporting anything, really. We're giving our opinion or take on that. We're speaking on it versus, so like I said, of how some people will treat SRS or especially Meltzer and Alvarez like it's the goddamn gospel. It's fucking testament there of this is what's going to happen.
Yep, no, I agree with that. But by the way, folks, the match did end. Lyra holds on to her title. We will take a rating out of 10 if you're with us right now. Let us know how you felt about NXT. I thought, considering it was a tape show and the main event needed a pivot, I thought they actually did. This is actually my favorite NXT I've gotten in a few weeks, my friend.
Is this best NXT of 2024?
No, maybe not of 2024.
Well, I find it funny that we've had to have the counter here with AEW, and so far we've got like maybe a solid 2 at best.
I think 1.
1.5. I'll give you 1.5.
I'm not letting people off the hook. I was mad at people last week because all last week with AEW, everyone was like, this show sucks, this show sucks, this show sucks. And it was like, oh, thumbtacks, what a wicked show. And you're like, wait a minute.
So like I said, it's 1.5. 1.5.
Yeah.
Can you concede 1.5?
I wanted to be a pro wrestler. I took my first bump and said, nope, I'm going to college.
Yep.
Not a bad idea. Splash Legend is genius.
Listen, Jobson, I don't know what you call her when you're thinking about certain things or whatever, but you don't need to tell us that.
Eric giving it an 8. The fact that they are talking about Raw and not this match. Us? Well, we get to talk about whatever we want. And this was an impromptu one.
Right.
Jade returned at a very weird time. She was nice Rumble surprise, but all potential matchups she could have, like Bianca, Becky, and Nia, were all busy. Facts. And she didn't fit the chamber if she didn't win. I'm perfectly with you.
Mm-hmm. Why would you want to debut her into a clusterfuck?
Again, you get lost in the shuffle, right? We've seen it so many times, and that's what I like about the new regime. They have to have a plan. They got their storyboard of they know where you're going to be in 6 months, and that's what they're working off of.
Facts. This is the start of the WWE universe here, the Marvel universe. We've got our Kevin Feige now. It's just he comes out to I am the game.
There you go.
So just let the man cook a little.
For so long, they were criticized for bringing in talent that just floundered. Ciampa, Karrion Kross, and Triple H is still trying to counter some of that bullshit that what they went through. But they were criticized for so long and bringing people up without a plan. I think it's changed, and I don't want to see Jade get wasted. 7 out of 10, says Dale.
Patience, again, is still a thing that still needs to be taught by a new generation or learned by a new generation of wrestling fans.
It's facts. 6 out of 10, says Boston. Still not really feeling the NXT. 7 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. All right. Not maybe I'm overselling NXT.
I'm interested in what your score is because
I'm gonna give it a 7. I'll just shoot straight. I'm gonna give it a 7.
I can go with that because I was teetering on that 7, 6.5. So I'll lock it in with you as a solid 7 of a show, especially like I know Paul was upset. I guess we were talking about Raw for 10 seconds after the match happened, but even that last match that was completely improv, that's on the fucking fly, to me was a solid match. So in-ring action warrants a 7. Outside of that, maybe could dock at some points, but it survived.
Yeah, I mean, it became serviceable. We didn't expect a barn burner, but I thought the Good Brothers showing up was cool. They're still teasing us with the
moment.
Yeah, they're teasing us with the creepy vignette, which could tie into the Good Brothers, which I love that idea. I thought the tag match, Chase U and Not Man and Robin, I thought I don't love either tag team, but I thought they delivered a really high pace, decent tag match tonight. I liked more than I didn't like. I mean, I don't care for Thea Hale and Chase U's side drama and the 90210 bullshit, but it is what it is. It comes with the territory. I wish, likewise, I got you on that one. 6.5, decent show. So you're giving it a 7 as well?
Yeah, like I said, I think we can just across the board give it a 7 here. Granted, to me, it was booked a little bit like a Dynamite of what probably now. Granted, this is more hindsight is 2020 of looking at it with what happened of maybe you reverse book it and put what you open the show as your main event, but again, hindsight is 2020. They recorded this and then had to deal with that after the fact.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Shotzi, but I was also thinking about being a pro wrestler, and I have the biggest beef with Rhea Ripley right now. Go get her, Dom.
No, 6 feet, my guy. 6 feet.
7.5. How many things are announced for Dynamite tomorrow, KJ and Nick? There's a 6-man tag. Tony will be in action. Deanna will be in action. I think Damien asked if we're excited about that. We don't know who they're really taking on, so I guess it'll be okay. The 6-man tag is horribly booked, dude. Let's be real. Like, I'm curious, but what a fucking scramble egg. Like, that is Yahtzee booking. They put all the dice in a fucking, whoa, look who we got.
I still always find it funny of how Tony Khan has 100 some odd signed wrestlers and manages to book about 5 regularly. Well, everybody gets the same booking. Everybody's on 3 shows a week. Everybody's at least got an appearance a week. Like you could realistically go through and excluding probably Ring of Honor as far as Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage. And there's probably a list of maybe 20 guys and gals that are consistently booked. And then you'll have some one-offs randomly.
Imagine being on a team and you're sitting on the bench waiting for your turn. You're sitting on the bench waiting for your turn. You think you can help your team. And just before you think it's your turn, some fucking free agent comes running out of the dressing room, takes your fucking shit. That's what AEW does, right? Like, wait, Rob Van Dam's here again? What? CMLL? CMLL showing up again? Oh,
when the shit did Kevin Garnett unretire
here? Right? Like sitting on the bench. Can I get in there? And that's what it feels like all the damn time is just there's so much talent there. Tony talks about how much talent he has, and they're just constantly like the guys you have and girls are benched because we're bringing in somebody. And
it's even a little bit worse because it's almost like, all right, 6, you're in the game. And then Rob Van Dam comes out with a 6 on his jersey. Yeah. You have the 6 on yours.
Right.
And everything. I'm like, all right, shit. You start to go. And he's like, oh, fuck. No, you sit on the bench.
Right. It's like, get us Bill Murray. Let's go.
There's you heard of the dream team? Well, we're the mark team.
But that's what it's right. Like, even if you're, again, you understand big free agents, but even if you're a guy like, I'd love to have a match with Daniel Bryan, they're like, sorry, we got another guy from New Japan coming in next week. You're like, fuck. I'm never going to fight this guy. 7 out of 10 NXT. Solid wrestling, but much better than last week. Still wish it was better. Yeah, it needs to level up a little. It's been a bit clunky.
I see what you did there.
You like that. 8. TKW, zero mention of them jumping the line ahead of Zoe and Shayna. I'll let you guys have that. I ain't even mad at
what?
it. What? That's the way to put it. 7 out of 10. Jobson had a good point, and again, you could understand why. I can tell that Lyra wasn't in that match mind frame after Shotzi. That's got to be hard, right? Like, you're prepared to take on Shotzi. Minutes into the match, she hurts herself. They do an impromptu. You got to call it in the ring, call it on the fly. You're young talent, not used to, just trying to get it figured out as it is. Never mind. Oh, now we got to fucking swing it.
Well, and especially on the fly again, I've never been in the ropes or anything like that. But being on the fly, you probably also halfway wonder in your mind, did I cause anything that could have prevented this? Like,
yeah,
that's got to be a part of it. It's like we've all probably played sports, or you've at least played fucking gym or something.
Yep.
Physical education, and somebody gets a boo-boo playing, backyard soccer, what have you. You always still have that in the back of your mind. If you somehow have this innate guilt of like, did I potentially cause anything? Like, did my actions help create that issue? Yeah. And even then, still just watching somebody go down, a brother in arms or a sister in arms go down right beside you, kind of fucks with you mentally.
Oh, absolutely. And we've all been there. Teammate goes down, you're like, oh fucking, you naturally want to like tend to that person, but the game has to go on, right? Like, it's not an easy situation. So SmackDown did 2.5 million, to be expected. I'm surprised they didn't hit 3.
NXT for me lately just feels like a poorly ran kids show. I'm almost completely out of NXT. This sucks.
This week was better, Boston. This week was better. I've been with Boston. I haven't loved it, but this week was a little bit better. Like I said, the Briggs and Jensen match was really good. I almost left it out.
In-ring action, phenomenal, top par. Outside of the ring, I can see where it can get a little wishy-washy and it sells you away from it. Michael row the boat ashore with that. But yeah, in-ring wise, I think it's hard-pressed to find a better consistent show.
Yeah. No, yeah, again, it's been in a bit of a lull, but we'll see what happens. Again, I haven't given up on it yet, so we're all right. I'm excited for BCC and FTR. Again, I'm optimistic, but half of that tag team match has to show up, bring it, and sell, and that's my concern.
Well, no, one person in that match needs to sell. Let's be honest, one person needs to not. I'm so fucking cool. No. One person.
Yeah. I picture this rich kid TK just having like all the names on his roster on like a spinny wheel, and because he's rich, he can make one of those, and it just fucking spins it to figure out who the fuck's on his show the next week.
And well, so how do you, on a side note here, as I know we're going past NXT here and everything, but how do you feel? I don't know if you saw it to where he was at Rev Pro this past weekend for Ospreay's last match outside of AEW and everything. And they kind of had a whole moment, and a lot of people use that. And well, see, he's one of us. He's just a big wrestling nerd. So why are we vilifying this man? How do you feel about all of that?
I don't think we are choosing to vilify him. We were very, like, I know, like we've talked about it. Like, I was a big supporter of Tony Khan. I'm critical of what Tony Khan is doing. I'm not vilifying Tony. I'm critiquing.
I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying us like.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, that's what I think the mindset of a lot of people are. Is
that's true.
They feel villainized, but they're not. Like, we appreciate, we appreciate the good. But we're critical of the failures and like the little things. Like recently, you talk about that Rev Pro moment, but you have Dynamite has what, the 200th episode or whatever, and it's thank you Tony Khan. Everybody can say what they want about Vince McMahon, horrible human being. We get it, But that man wanted none of the spot. Like, I mean, we went through the Attitude Era, but he didn't want to be mentioned at the Hall of Fame. You'd never see, like, you know, SmackDown did 2 million viewers last week. Thank you, Triple H. It was always about the fans. And the problem with AEW is, and like anything, we've been through this, even doing YouTube. If somebody makes himself, if it becomes about that one person, it falls apart. And the problem with AEW is it's all about Tony and what Tony loves and what Tony wants. And Tony wants the flowers, and Tony. He shouldn't be one of the guys. He needs to be the boss.
What is a good R&B group from the late 80s, early 90s? Tony.
Right.
But I think I'll say this, and this is not going at any particular fan base, but if this identifies with you and you feel offended by this, then maybe you need to look in the mirror. There's a section of wrestling fandom that has a victim complex of no one has ever told them that anything's wrong with them, or they just don't want to admit any, like, no, they can't take critical feedback on anything. So anytime anyone gives them anything on that you're just trying to tear them down, you're victim, you know, you're just bullying, you're just trying, you're out of, you know, bad faith, all of this. Like, no, we're literally out here trying to be of good faith as possible. Oh, help me to help you. Help me to help you.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if Tony wants to sit there and just be a fucking fan and everything like that. Like, it's on one hand, it's great to see shit like that. It's a little bit, it has a tinge of that Mark Cuban Dallas Mavericks ownership there has that fandom still in him, but you have to deliver on that. If Mark Cuban was out there running the Mavericks and they just sucked ass and were number one, you know, bottom of the league every year, you'd eventually start to question what the fuck's going on here.
That's it, right?
But when they win NBA championships, the narrative can change.
100%. That, I think that's an actual beautiful example of the Mavericks. And again, if they never made the playoffs, if he wasn't making deals, if he was sitting his best players on the bench for jobbers, then people.
I really like, you know, Mbate Umugaga or whatever the fuck name that we signed from France. So I'm going to start him at center or power forward versus fucking Dirk.
We got him from
I don't like the way his fucking sideburns are. Montgomery Burns.
Yeah, we got him from the Giants. Oh, the Giants? Oh, not those Giants.
Not those Giants.
But ladies and gentlemen, we'll put last call on this. Van's giving it a 6. Michael, I think we've touched on this. We do agree it's been a little bit up and down. The consistency it once had has been wavering, at least the last few weeks. Feels like they're going through a transition, but I'm hopeful. There's some things to be optimistic about. I agree, especially with Raw and SmackDown were doing terrible. Facts. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show tonight. I will remind everybody out there to make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, click that little bell. You never know when we're going to pop up. Check out all our other content, our shorts, our videos. We got lots for you. Click all the links. Find us on social. Sometimes we'll talk to you. Sometimes we won't. That guy probably will. But other than that, folks, we thank you so much, Nick. Not a bad night for a Tuesday.
Not at all. And I'll take a moment to wax here poetic just on insider baseball here and everything like that, as I still see at least 40 people here. Man's out here sending me that we just passed 80,000 watch hours on the channel. So we've literally been barely at it 2 years, and we've already racked up 9 years of watch time. So we're traveling in the future. But again, whether this is your first time watching us, whether this is your 100,000th time with us, like C Money, Boston, all of that, JV, etc., appreciate every second that anybody gives us any bit of time. It's amazing. It's mind blowing. 100%. I'll stop being all emotional here, and our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you talk about the wrestling, you put that forward life with it.
See you on the flip side. Thank you for everything. Come back tomorrow. Boom.